Okay, sorry, I'm an idiot. Our mics were muted. Welcome back officially to the live stream. We are back. Just encountered some technical difficulties, but the draft is scheduled to start in the pretty much the next 30 seconds. So we're on the clock and we're ready to roll.
Yeah, excited to finally see who goes where in the NBA. Yeah, Minnesota will be on the clock in a little bit. They're showing the opening package currently.
And how boring it is. Why
Yeah,
why
I
why
mean
honestly do
it's
people do like programs do that? Like no one cares about these opening intros.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's to draw. I guess it's a draw more than anything.
Sure, but
I guess that's the best way for me to describe it.
I can see that, but still, I wouldn't. Never interested me. Yeah, everything seems to be going good. So I literally just looked on, I just looked up on YouTube, NBA Draft Livestream. We're literally the third, thing that pops up. That's pretty dope.
Nice. Love to see that.
But yeah, anyone who's watching right now, leave a comment. Talk to us. We love to answer questions on here.
Yeah, I mean let's hopefully we'll get a crowd back and we'll interact with some people.
We got a few subs. It's going pretty good and pretty. There's been some comments that I've seen that are not very nice, but for the most part, besides that, that stupid technical difficulty, it's going pretty good.
Yeah, minor setback.
Yep, but we persevere. It's all fixed now. And we are ready to find out who is going to be the number one
The
overall pick in this year's draft.
the ESPN headquarters located in beautiful Stamford, Connecticut.
That was Bristol.
Is it Bristol? I think it is
Bristol.
Bristol, actually, now that you mention it.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, you know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of WWE. They're in Stamford.
Okay. Dude, Adam
Hi, Adam.
Silver, hold on. Adam Silver has exceeded all my expectations for him as commissioner of the NBA.
Oh yeah, he's such a good commissioner. Like out of the big four, um, like I
Compared,
guess I'll do a power
compared to
rankings.
the
I
NFL,
guess
he's so much better.
Adam Silver is definitely S tier. Roger Goodell is not like I would put him at like C. I would put Gary Bettman at like a high B or a low A, and Rob Manfred deserves his own tier at the bottom of the earth.
Who's a horrible commissioner, and that is Rob Manfred, commissioner of baseball.
Yeah, Rob Manfred is not good.
Him and Roger Goodell are terrible in their own completely different ways.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the NHL, does his job really well because he doesn't need to do his job that much.
No.
Like if that makes sense. Like Gary Bettman is almost never in the news, except for when he absolutely has to be.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I mean, you look at the commissioners that we praised and the commissioners that we didn't, and then you look at all of the COVID cases in the NBA bubble and in the NHL bubbles, and you look at the COVID cases in the MLB and the NFL.
All right, the Timberwolves are now
I
officially
don't think
on
there's
the
a
clock.
coincidence.
The Timberwolves are now officially on the clock.
Here
Here
we
we go, man.
go.
We've already been doing this for
I'm
an hour,
excited.
but we got probably three more left in the tank.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully.
I
I
know I
might
do.
fall asleep.
I ate before I did this.
Mm-hmm.
and some very tasty Chipotle.
All right. So I think we can both agree that it's gonna be either Anthony Edwards or LaMelo Ball. You wanna
LaMelo.
you
I
wanna
can't
pitch a
I can't
guess?
see I can't I would be I said earlier that I wasn't going to be totally shocked if they didn't take LaMelo. I'm going to change that. I would actually be shocked if barring any some weird trade, I would be shocked if they didn't take LaMelo Ball right here.
Yeah, think I definitely think they're gonna pick LaMelo for the purpose of feeding
You there, Jake?
NBA. Yeah, I think he's easily one of, if not the best playmaker in this draft class. And I think he's going to be a huge part of any team that takes him. And I think he does go first overall to Minnesota, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
I was talking about it earlier in my latest episode, or it was like 2 episodes ago, how Minnesota could actually be kind of the perfect place for someone like LaMelo Ball, who obviously has had the spotlight in his high school career for the last 4 years. Obviously all that media attention at Chino Hills. Then obviously he goes overseas, and then he's playing in the Australian League. So he's always had a camera in his face. He's always had media, covering every move of his pretty much. Going to some place like Minnesota, where there honestly isn't a ton of distractions, could honestly kind of be the best scenario for someone like LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Um, and I think the two places that he could go immediately is barring a trade from Golden State is Minnesota and Charlotte, and the spotlight isn't really on either of those teams.
Correct. There is not a spotlight. Well, Charlotte, there's a little bit, but Golden State. If he went to Golden State, I almost think that could be his worst nightmare, in that there would be
That's
so
almost
much.
like going to like the Lakers or the Knicks almost.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Knicks, like the Knicks being not that they're a good team, but that like there's a huge spotlight like it's New York City.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, you can see his numbers there: 17 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists per game in Australia. Um, Granted, it's Australian numbers, but he had a lot of success down under.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a lot of production. Well, 1 second.
There's the key players there: D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Jared Culver, Josh Okogie, Karl Anthony Towns. Um, could very well be their starting five. Obviously, they're going to add a guy with the first overall pick. Jared Culver will probably start as their small forward. Josh Okogie will probably start as their power forward. Malik Beasley will likely come off the bench for one of either LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards, whichever one of the two Minnesota decides to pick. And they will pick because they will not be on the clock. They've got a minute left to make their pick, whoever it will be.
I'm very excited for who we're gonna see here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's even more interesting when it's like virtual like this. Like I mean, obviously we saw what the NFL did with their virtual draft, and I think
Wait,
yeah, and the NHL also had their draft. So it's an interesting element
wait. So just
having a virtual
quickly,
draft. Obviously, the real thing is better, but
so just quickly, your prediction is Lamelo, right?
I think it's going to be Lamelo for sure. I don't
That's
think
my
Anthony Edwards
prediction.
goes first.
That's my call. We're gonna see right now. There, the timer's up. I really hope this thing at the bottom updates as the pick is. Yeah,
Their pick is not in. Do you think they dealt it?
no, the pick is in.
Does it say the pick is it? You might be ahead of me.
The pick is in.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. So
Alrighty.
I think it'll be LaMelo.
It has to be, man. It has
To be honest.
Imagine if they just take like someone like Isaac Okoro just out of nowhere
Shock the world and take James Wiseman.
when they already have Karl Anthony Towns. All right, here we go,
Shock
man.
the
Here we go.
world.
It's gonna be LaMelo. No. Oh man.
Who'd they go
They
with?
went Anthony Edwards.
Did they really?
Yeah. Oh man, my
Wow.
predictions are all off. Oh no.
Wow.
I said if Anthony
Good for
Edwards,
him.
well, I said if Anthony Edwards did not go number 1, he would not go top 3. Man, that is I don't know.
Wow.
I didn't
Good for him.
yeah, I like Anthony Edwards, but I definitely don't love Anthony Edwards. He almost went to KU actually. That was interesting.
Mm.
Okay, but here's the real like that's gonna be really interesting because now we're when yeah you can see it here Anthony Edwards the Minnesota but now this is where it gets really interesting because now here the Warriors have a decision between LaMelo, Wiseman. They could even go Deni Avdija. There's so many different options here.
And the best part about all the options that they have now is that they might not even be the team that picks at number 2.
No, they could not. They could make a trade even if they wanted to.
But I think if they do pick, I think it's going to be James Wiseman. I think it would be foolish for them to go after LaMelo. I think it would be less foolish to go after Denny Avdija or Obi Toppin, but I think the glaring need at center is just going to be enough. I think for them to pick James Wiseman, which is going to be terrifying.
Back to the Anthony Edwards pick. I did see a lot of reports, probably like 5 or 6 hours before the draft, that he actually did become a little bit of the front runner for the number 1 pick, and those rumors actually turned out to be true.
Yeah. Um, he fits better as a shooting guard than LaMelo does.
Jacob, by the way, your camera
So
is
I guess
frozen.
it. Oh, is it?
Yeah. Okay, there
Is
you
that any better?
go. And
I'm moving around.
the
Am I
the
frozen?
screen, here, let me fix it.
Can I be heard at
Watching.
least? Because I was gonna talk for a little bit.
Oh yeah, you can keep going
Okay.
analysis.
Yeah. So I think Anthony Edwards fits better as a shooting guard than LaMelo Ball does. I think if they were gonna pick one of those two, I think that person was gonna end up being the shooting guard because I think D'Angelo Russell doesn't really function as a shooting guard. I have no idea how tall he is, but I'm going to Google it right now. I don't think he functions that well
Me neither.
As a shooting guard.
No, that's my criticism of this pick is because oh my god, what is going on with your camera? Not the quality, but the
Yeah, I mean D'Angelo Russell's 6'5", so I guess he could be shooting guard if he wanted to. But I think he's played a lot more as point guard and he has a lot of experience as a point guard. So it makes sense to go after the more shooting guard like pick with Anthony Edwards. Um, obviously, could they have picked LaMelo Ball and shifted D'Angelo Russell shooting guard? Yeah, but I don't know if it would have been super smart. I mean, obviously, anyone who goes number 1 overall is going to be a star or a superstar in the near future. As you see, if you're watching the draft, you can see Anthony Edwards highlights at Georgia. I think if
People also like him as a
yeah,
defender,
yeah, that's another thing. He's also a really good defender, which I think
which LaMelo Ball
Minnesota
is
needed a
not.
little bit of. Yeah, LaMelo Ball is a prolific passer and a really good scorer, but he's not that good defensively. And Anthony Edwards can pickpocket anybody seemingly. And I think that's going to be big for Minnesota.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I'm not like would I have liked to see Lamelo go number one? That'd been pretty cool. But I'm not gonna criticize Anthony Edwards. He definitely wasn't as high on my board as other people, but I can't blame him.
All right. Well, the pick is in for
Yep.
Golden State,
Well,
which
this is
means
yeah.
that it did not
I
get
I
traded.
literally pray they take James Wiseman right here.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not James Wiseman, who is it?
I don't think it's Lamelo Ball. I don't think it's Lamelo. I think it could be Dini
I think if it,
Avdija.
I think honestly, if it's not James Wiseman, it's Obi Toppin.
That is a take and a half. But yeah, it could really be anyone. James Wiseman, in my opinion, is I just don't see how I don't see how it goes wrong with James Wiseman. I feel like with every other player, something could go wrong. With James Wiseman, I don't really see the downside.
Yeah, I think James Wiseman, along with Anthony Edwards, are the two safe picks in this draft. Um, it looks like Adam Silver is on his way.
Yeah, the pick is in. They're
The pick
gonna
has
announce it in
the
the next
pick
few
has been
seconds.
in. Yeah, the pick has been in for a little bit, so we'll see what Mr. Silver has to say.
This is an interesting question. Have they ever sent the wrong card in? Has that ever happened in the draft before?
Um, I think it's happened in the NFL. I don't think it's happened in the NBA.
What if it's happened like a lower league, like maybe like the NHL or something?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I feel like it might have happened in the NFL before. Um, I'm not sure though.
No, me neither. Come on, good pick. So my prediction here is James Wiseman. What's yours, Jake?
Yeah, I think it's going to be James Wiseman as well. I don't think Klay Thompson's injury earlier today is going to be enough to influence
No,
picking a
it's
guard.
not.
And I think James Wiseman is just too good of a player to pass on, especially with the glaring need at center.
I agree. I'll genuinely be frustrated if they don't take James Wiseman right here.
J and J need to stop talking. I want to know who the Warriors picked.
Yeah. Okay. This the pick has been in for about it feels like 2.5 minutes, but okay, here we go.
Maybe they did trade it. Who knows?
Come on. There we go. Let's
James Wiseman.
go. That is okay. With that pick right there, the Warriors have the best starting five in the NBA. Don't come at me. It's the best. I don't care. That is, they literally have a starting lineup of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson barring injury, Draymond, Andrew Wiggins, and now James Wiseman.
Yeah, that's massive.
That's the best starting five in the NBA. I don't care.
That's a crazy starting five.
I'm actually so happy they didn't take Lamelo Ball right there. Not that he would have been. That would have been the best shooting lineup the league has ever seen. But still, that's ridiculous. Also, your camera's frozen again.
Is it?
I don't know what's happening.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, Charlotte's on the clock. Gotta believe it's LaMelo here, right?
Yeah, that would be mine. Well, no, but they've always wanted the big guy, and
See, yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know if they reach for a Kongwu here. I think if
they
they
might though.
really
I
want
think
a
they
center that
could.
bad, I think they trade back to get him.
I don't know. I think they could. Can you do anything to fix your camera?
I could try turning it off here and turning it back on. That might work. I don't know. But if they don't want to trade back to get a Kongwu, I mean, there's a guy named Obi Toppin that they could get.
I'm not a huge Obi Toppin fan. I'll be honest. I think
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
I think he's one of those players who was disgusting in college, and then goes to the NBA and kind of meets his match.
And just sort of has like an okay,
Yeah,
he'll be a star, but not like over the top like
even
other players.
maybe not even a star.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I could see where you're coming from.
He just doesn't like players like that. I asked, like people who are obviously high on them. Like my question is, what does he do well, or what does he do that's elite? What does he do that no one else in the league can do?
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know if there's like anything super spectacular about Obi Toppin, but I think he's just a solid power forward. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, but is he the number three pick? That's my thing.
I mean, you also have to consider that this is Charlotte.
Yeah, well, that's my
Like
take
you
on why they take
never know.
why they take Onkongwu right here, or Kongwu, how you say his name. It's definitely going to be very interesting.
They could really they could pick a lot of people. Like they have, like you mentioned, a Kongwu. Obviously, Lamelo Ball is still on the draft board, and you've got Obi Toppin still available. Denny Avdija is still available.
I could
Tyrese
see him
Halliburton's
taking
still
Denny Avdija
available.
right here. I don't think they take
It
Lamelo
could
though.
happen. They have a lot of options that they can go to.
Yeah.
It could be wild.
I really don't see Lamelo going here. I definitely see maybe a Kongwu going right here, or I could see Denny Avdija. I really couldn't see. Yeah, I think if I were to make if I okay, the pick is in. My prediction right here. Do I stick? Do I stick to my mock draft earlier, or do I change? I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna say they do a Charlotte move and don't make the best decision, and they take Onyeka Okongwu right here.
Interesting. Um,
I think they want that big guy too badly, and they end up reaching
mm,
here.
man, I don't know.
Oh my God!
There's my
What?
prediction.
It's a Lamelo.
Is it
It's
Mello?
Lamelo. Dude,
Wow,
their backcourt now is Devonta Graham and Lamelo.
that's crazy.
That's wild. I like because obviously Lamelo was like mocked like everywhere. I don't really remember him seeing being mocked here though.
Yeah,
So now it's official. Lamelo
I can't say
Lamelo
I'm
goes
surprised.
before,
I
or
can't
he
say I'm
goes.
surprised.
Lamelo goes after Lonzo.
Yeah, because Lonzo
Two.
was picked second, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that is. I'm now that I'm kind of saying it out loud now, I actually don't mind that pick so much because now they're absolutely loaded at like guard now.
Yeah, like I can't say I'm surprised. Um,
And also,
like
like we talked,
Lamelo is Lamelo is the best player available.
yeah, he was. And also, like kind of how you talked about and how I talked about, he needs to go to a low market team, and Charlotte is definitely a low market team. They're probably not as low as Minnesota, but like if you fell later, the next two selections were Chicago and Cleveland, where that is the exact opposite of low market.
Yeah.
I don't hate
I hope, like, obviously, I think he'll do well. Obviously, Charlotte's got a piece to build around in their backcourt. Obviously, alongside Devontae Graham.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah, that's a
That's a really
that's a
interesting
really
background
good backcourt in Charlotte.
because actually I actually like this pick even more now that I'm thinking about it. Devonta Graham, he is not suited best as the primary point guard. If you watch him back at Kansas, which I obviously have, he's actually better when he's a little bit
Hmm.
off the ball because he is deadly when he's like catch and shoot, not necessarily like pull up stuff. So if Charlotte was
Yeah,
smart
sure.
here, they would make LaMelo the primary point guard and then play Devonta Graham off the ball more. I actually really don't mind this pick at all. Now that I'm thinking about it, but still now they literally have no big guys.
Yeah, I mean, they've got two picks in the second round, so maybe they'll figure something out.
Well, wait. They're showing a picture of LeVar Ball in a Carolina Panthers jersey.
Hmm.
Do you play
Yeah, he
football?
played football. You know that?
No. What? That's even cooler. That's really weird. But yeah, all right. So now, oh, okay, Chicago's pick is in. So now who? Okay, I had Chicago here taking Denny of Diha.
I think, um, like I said earlier, this boils down to who you have more faith in out of Laurie Markkinen and Otto Porter Jr. Um,
I'm not a big fan of
and
Otto
I
Porter
think,
Jr. at all.
yeah, I think Otto Porter Jr. is a solid player, but I think he can dangle way better as trade bait. I think Laurie Markkinen can slide to the three if he wants to. Um, and I think Bulls pick Obi Toppin here to play
Obi Toppin
power
here.
forward for them.
Yeah, I could
I
definitely
could.
see Obi Toppin
It's
here.
gonna. It is gonna be either Obi Toppin or Denny Avdija. Um, it will likely be Denny Avdija just because I don't think they want to do a whole lot of moving around. Like I don't think they want to move pieces around and sort of mess. Like I think they like Laurie Markkinen too much at power
Here's the pick.
forward.
Okay, that is the biggest shock of the draft so far.
Who did they pick? You're ahead of me. Remember
Williams,
who did they pick?
Patrick Williams. He was not in my top
Really?
10. He is not. But he's also a small forward. Okay, this is his stats from last year. 9 points, 4 rebounds. That has to be injury,
Um,
right? I'm not. I honestly don't really. I know he's a lengthy, like kind of like small forwardish type player, but man, that's a shock.
yeah,
That's actually a
that's a
shock.
head scratcher.
That's a
Um,
Giants take Andrew Thomas type pick.
Obviously, small forward makes sense. Um, but why that one?
Him, yeah, but why him? That's why I compared it to the Giants taking Andrew Thomas. Like, why that one? Like, why?
Yeah, and that's literally what I said when we drafted Andrew Thomas. I was literally saying I said out
Position,
loud
but
before they
why
made
that
that pick.
one?
Yeah, I said out loud before they made that pick. I was like, either Wills, or I think the other name was Becton that I said.
Then yeah,
I was saying like Wills or Becton, and they picked Andrew Thomas, and I had a perplexed look on my face, and I was like, why that guy? Why him?
that's
Like
actually
he's like that's the fourth best tackle in this draft class. Like why are they going
that's
with
a,
him?
that's very similar to my reaction when the Chiefs took Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I was like, at the time, I was either DeAndre Swift or Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift or Jonathan Taylor, and
Yeah, and then they
then
picked
Clyde
Clyde.
came up, and I was like, okay, but I'm not. Why that one? And then
Why
I
that
did not.
guy? Yeah.
And then I turned out to be an idiot because Clyde is awesome.
Yeah, I mean Clyde turned out to be a really good pick for you guys. Um, what I'm thinking, therefore, was for defense. Like that makes sense to me that they picked him specifically for defense, um, and bench depth. Like I don't think Denny will bring the defensive sort of ability that I think Williams can bring.
No, I don't think that
But
either.
we'll
But
see.
I think it's just weird because like I literally did not see once Patrick Williams going this high,
Yeah.
which is reasonable because he's just. I mean, you look at those stats and nothing really flashy comes up.
So now
Okay,
the
yeah.
question becomes: out of Obi Toppin, who do the Cleveland Cavaliers pick?
I think they take Obi Toppin. I'm gonna go Obi Toppin here.
Yeah, I mean Kevin Love is getting old. Um, he's not getting any younger. I feel like Obi Toppin would be a smart move for the future. Um, this is their only pick tonight, by the way.
I think the best player to take here is Denny Avdija, but I think Cleveland makes the wrong move and takes Obi Toppin.
Yeah, see, and I'm going to disagree with you with that because I think the smarter move for Cleveland is to Obi Toppin because of Kevin Love, and like he's not getting any younger. So I think the smarter move here is to take Obi Toppin. Obviously, they could pick up Denny Avdija as well. I think the way smarter move for them is Obi Toppin right now.
All right, but it's just agree to disagree. So
Yeah,
now
I
we're
mean they could very well take Denny Avdija as well. Like I'm not disagreeing with you saying that they're going to take Denny Avdija. For them is to, like if they want immediate help, they're going to go with Denny Avdija. But if they want like help for the future and they want to look ahead, they're going to take Obi Toppin.
yeah, I can't really disagree with that. It's
It
their
really
pick.
depends on what they want to do next season.
It's their pick. They want to take Obi Toppin, take Obi Toppin. This wouldn't be my choice if I was GM. All right, pick is in now. I my so your prediction is Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin is mine for sure.
My prediction is also Obi Toppin. I just don't agree with it.
That's fine. Um, you're ahead of me, so you're going to first. So
Yeah.
just I guess as it comes in, just sort of say out loud what it is so that I know.
Okay.
Now it's a State Farm commercial, so no one's really missing anything.
Yeah. Right now for me, it's I think it's a Buffalo Wild Wings commercial.
Nice.
I actually could really
Hey,
go
you
some.
were right.
I could go for some wings right now.
I also could go for some wings. I
Wings,
agree.
and then like they're one of those places where like you can like choose your seasoning for the fries. Oh my god,
Mm.
I could use some Cajun fries right now. No one has put a comment in the chat in a while. I would like to see someone do that.
I don't know if a whole lot of people are here. Like, that could be another thing.
There's not a ton, to be honest, but it's a first. I mean, we now have 10 subscribers, and we had 4 coming into the night.
There you go.
Slowly but
Yeah,
surely, my friend.
growth. We'll get there eventually.
Alrighty, we're just waiting for the pick here. I think it's about to come right now. All right, so pick is about to come in now. We'll see who it is. Both me and Jacob are saying Obi Toppin here. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. So it is not Obi Toppin. It is Isaac Okoro. I
Oh, it
actually
is
had
Isaac Okoro.
I had him mocked in my mock draft as going, I think, or no, I had him. Okay, I had him as my number 4 overall prospect, and he actually does go top 5. So that's very interesting.
There you go.
One of my predictions was right. So as soon as Anthony Edwards went number 1, everything was off.
Yeah, because didn't you have Mello going one? Who did you have going one?
It went Melo, Wiseman, Okongwu, then Denny Avdija, and then Anthony Edwards at number 5.
Wow. Okay.
And
Yeah, you.
not even disrespecting Anthony Edwards. I just thought if he didn't go number 1, then there wasn't a great fit until Cleveland. I love Isaac Okoro. I really am a big fan of this kid. He's a lot bigger than I thought he was. That's the biggest thing.
Okoro.
Yeah, I always
Yeah,
kind of envisioned him
he's
as
a big
small,
guy.
but he's not. He's big. I think he would be really good. All right, so who we got up next? Oh man, oh wait, no. It's the Hawks. We got Atlanta coming up.
Yeah, This is an interesting pick for
It
Atlanta
is a very interesting pick.
because I mean I think there's a glaring need for like forward in my opinion because I think Trey Young is has locked up point guard. Um,
Not taking the guard here,
shooting
I don't think.
guard, shooting guard. I want to say is Kevin Huerter. Is he still on the team?
I think he might be. Yeah.
Yeah. John Collins at power forward. They still have Clint Capella at center. Who's their small forward?
Good question.
I don't know.
I think
I
they
don't
could
know off the
also.
top of my head.
I also think they could take a big guy here. Maybe a Kongwu goes here. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Wait. Didn't they just get Capella though? I think they just got Clint Capella.
Yeah, they've had Capella for a while, saying maybe not a Kongwu.
Had him for a while, but they traded for him last season.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's not wild, but yeah.
Let me see. Oh yeah, DeAndre Hunter is their small forward,
Okay.
and they've got Cam Reddish. So maybe they don't take Avdia.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe Obi Toppin goes here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if this is the first trade of the night.
Yeah, I can see that too. But I don't know. This is also kind of a pick where like I'm not even expecting Atlanta to be that competitive this year. I mean, I know Trey Young is good, but he definitely has his limitations. I almost just take
The,
the
I
most talented player here. Like maybe they go Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, and then the debate becomes who's the most talented player.
I think it's Tyrese Halliburton, or maybe Denny Avdija.
I think it's Denny Avdija.
Yeah, I probably lean Dini Avdija.
I do think that there is like out of that starting five of Trey Young, Kevin Huerter, um, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella, the obvious weakness is at shooting guard. So maybe Halliburton goes here. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be almost anyone here, to be honest.
And if it is Halliburton, that's bad news for me because that means we have to pick Killian Hayes at 8. Which I mean, I would prefer Killian Hayes over Tyrese Halliburton. I like Killian Hayes more. Watching his tape and stuff like that. But who knows?
Yeah, there's really not like too many. There really isn't a good argument for any player here. There's not one solid player that I see him taking.
Mm. Do you think this is a trade?
I do think it could be a trade. Oh, we know it's not. The pick is in.
Oh, it is. You're right. I didn't even see that. Who picked 7th? Do you know?
It is Detroit.
Detroit, I think. Yeah.
They also have Cam Reddish. It's a Cam Reddish.
Yeah, they've got Cam Reddish as depth for small forward, which makes me believe less and less that this is going to be Denny Avdia.
All right, here comes the pick.
All right, prediction. Well, there's a shooting guard out there by the name of Devin Vassell. That's my pick.
Yeah, we get the prediction. Honestly, I swear to God, I made that right.
Who was
The
it?
Atlanta Hawks take Onyeka Okongwu.
It is a Kongwu. Okay, interesting.
I yeah, I'm not a fan of him, honestly. I don't like him that much. I mean, it's always I said this in my episode, like it's never good to see a center be 6'9".
Yeah, but I guess that also means he could play like backup power forward for them as well,
No, he couldn't.
which I
No,
guess is a positive.
that's not his thing. No.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously it's not his thing, but like it could be what Atlanta experiments with him. Like they could do a lot with him being 6'9" and being primarily a center.
I see him. I see Okongwu as if he wants to be a successful prospect, he has to turn into Clint Capella. That's what he needs to become.
Yeah, like
The floor center, undersized but grabs a lot of rebounds and is really good at putting back shots.
mhm. I wonder how long Clint Capella stays in Atlanta now that they've taken a Kongwu.
That's also yeah. I actually was just thinking about that. Like they already have Capella, and then they take. I just said this person should become the person that they already have.
Hmm.
That actually makes zero sense now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, if you anyone watching this, leave your comments on any of the draft picks. I would love to know what you guys think about that.
Pistons on the clock. Um,
I think they need guard, a little bit more guard.
yeah, this could be Tyrese.
Yeah, this could be Tyrese Halliburton here, or maybe this is Killian Hayes. I mean, it could be either one. But actually, this choice basically affects which guard you're going to take.
If you're talking about the Knicks, yeah.
Would you rather have as a Knicks fan? Would you rather have Halliburton or Denny or Killian Hayes?
As a Knicks fan, I think I would rather take a chance at Killian Hayes. Um, I think he can be Killian Hayes. I'm talking about can
Hayes
be
is more of a
more.
point guard, and Tyrese
He's
Halliburton
yeah,
is a little bit more off the ball.
yeah. I think Killian Hayes can control the point more. Um, yeah, I just need a we just need a guard for the love of God.
Yeah. So and you said previously, if the Knicks don't take Killian Hayes or Tyrese Halliburton, you're going to be pissed off.
Yeah, like if it's not a guard, like I genuinely can't think of who it could be.
No. You said if it's not Killian Hayes or Tyrese Halliburton, you're going to be pissed.
Oh yeah, I'm
Even
gonna be angry. Yeah,
even if they do
I'm
take
just
like Aaron Nesmith or someone like that, you're going to be pissed off.
yeah. I think
Okay, and the Detroit Pistons are now their pick is in.
I haven't seen a trade, which I guess is a little shocking.
All right, so before they make the pick announcement, JN26962. How did you feel about the Bulls pick? I thought the Bulls pick was okay. You know, I mean, it's a reach. It's definitely a reach. It's definitely a reach with Patrick Williams, but I think he could be one of those players who like is just a better professional player than he is college player. But I would have liked them to see take someone else, to be honest. But I'm not hate. You can't hate the pick immediately.
Yeah, I think the only reason they went with Patrick Williams is because they didn't have faith in the international scouting.
Detroit.
Um, I think I think for
Killian
them
Hayes.
it is Killian Hayes.
They take Killian Hayes. Bro, he's so ugly. No offense. Do you see Killian Hayes on the thing? Oh my god,
Yeah.
bro.
Um, yeah. I mean, back to the Bulls conversation. I mean, I think the decision was either Denny Avdija or Patrick Williams, and I think they went with Patrick Williams because they didn't have enough faith in their international scouting department. Um,
Okay. Yep. I can see that.
which I mean makes sense. Like obviously, if you're gonna pick an international guy, it's gonna be a risky play for anybody. They could turn into Luka Doncic, or they could turn into Frank Tilikina. Who knows?
I can see why you like Killian Hayes. I don't like the fact that he's not like super bouncy. Like he's not the most athletic guard, but it's really hard to
Sure.
say no to someone who is a 6'5" point guard.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how good he is as a shooter though.
All right. Well.
I can't criticize. I said they needed the guard, and they should choose between Tyrese Halliburton and Killian Hayes, and they took Killian Hayes. So what can
Yeah.
I
I
complain
mean, they
about?
mean they got the starting point guard that they needed for next season. So you
Here's
can't
my
really complain if you're a Detroit Pistons fan.
Yeah, but here's my little bit of criticism. I think easily one of the most non talked about prospects in this entire draft, and needs to be talked about more, is Cole Anthony, who could have fit that void of having a true starting point guard. I really think people are sleeping on that kid.
hmm
And
Yeah.
now there's starting to be a storyline revolving around Deni Avdija falling.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Avdija and Toppin have slipped as much as they have.
Not surprised about Toppin. Just saying.
I don't know. Toppin was projected in a lot of people's mock drafts to go top five.
I didn't what? I didn't see that. Those people are
Yeah,
those people are stupid.
he yeah, he was supposed to go top five in a lot of places.
Maybe like Cleveland, but I didn't see anything with like Chicago. All right, but now we got actually Jacob, I'll let you take the floor since your team is up.
Yeah, I mean, they're showing Tyrese Halliburton while talking about the Knicks, and I don't blame them because I think if this is not Halliburton, like I think the only other option I could see this being, other than Halliburton, is Denny Avdija, just because of how much he's slipped.
I wouldn't. If I were you, I wouldn't be too pissed they take Denny Avdija here, just because I think he's the most talented player left.
I think if you take Halliburton, obviously your starting five becomes Alfred Payton or Halliburton at the one, and then the other one at the two. Barrett at the three, where he's the most comfortable. Randall four, Mitchell Robinson five. I think if you go Denny Avdija, you can put Avdija at the three. You can bump R.J. Barrett up to the two, and you can keep Alfred Payton at the one. They're also showing Devin Vassell, who is a more natural shooting guard and would also make a little bit of sense. But I think this has to be Tyrese Halliburton. You gotta
Yeah,
believe, right? Like
yeah, I think it's Ty. Yeah, they're one of their biggest needs is a point guard or guard.
the guard depth and the guard issue in New York is so glaring that I don't think there's another great option.
No, I don't see it either. I mean, like I wouldn't be like if I were you, I wouldn't be really mad if they took Denny Avdija, but at the same time, you were wanting Tyrese Halliburton and you didn't take him. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's got to be a guard, right? I mean, I'm saying that
I think so too.
I'm probably jinxing them right now, but this has got to be a guard. You got to believe, right?
When it comes to New York teams,
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to being let down, so who knows what could happen here.
all right, we're about to get the New York Knicks selection here. My
You're
prediction is I say Tyrese Halliburton. I don't think they mess it up.
Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton. Give me
All
the
right, here we
name
go.
as soon as they say, because you're ahead of me.
Oh no! Oh no! They take Obi Toppin.
Did they actually?
They take Obi Toppin.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, you wanted him. This is such karma. Oh my god!
Oh
You
my
this
lord.
entire live stream, you have been begging them to take Obi Toppin, or you've been begging someone to take Obi Toppin, and now the Knicks make it final, and they take Obi Toppin. Oh, it's amazing! It's amazing.
Incredible.
Oh
Oh.
my god. Bro, he's amazing, right? Why would you be pissed off?
Why did I know that this was gonna happen too, right? Like, how did I know that I was jinxing the Knicks when I said that it's got to be a guard, it's got to be Halliburton, it's got to be a guard?
Hyping Obi Toppin this entire time. Why would you be
My
pissed off?
lord. I'm pissed off because we threw so much money at Julius Randle.
That's true.
Where where is he gonna go? I guess he's gonna play small forward.
No way. He nowhere has the handles. That is oh man. I love that so
Unbelievable.
much.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Okay, now we have Washington coming up. We talked about that the not official trade at all, but the speculations of maybe John Wall moving. So maybe they take a point guard here. Maybe this is where Tyrese Halliburton goes. Also, they probably do me a big man. But I'm not 100% sure
You
if
know who
that's
they
the
should have
best.
taken? Obi Toppin.
They really, yeah. What if the only reason why the Knicks took Aubrey Toppin is because they knew the Wizards were going to take him?
I wouldn't be shocked if that was the only reason why the Knicks took him, honestly.
Obi Toppin is like bawling his eyes out.
Yeah, he's happy. Well, because I mean,
Yeah, we
I'd be
went to the
upset too
Knicks.
if I saw all the mock drafts. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's upset because he's gonna have to wear a Knicks uniform next season.
Oh god. I'm trying to pull up the prospects, like the best available prospects chart, but my internet is still terrible.
Mm.
I think the Wizards go Tyrese Halliburton here. What do you think, Jacob?
Um,
No,
yeah, I
could
Halib.
actually be.
It could be. It could be Avdija, I
I was
think,
gonna say this could be where Deni Avdija goes.
because I think if they decide not to do John Wall for James Harden straight up, because like either way, they're gonna get a guard back, so there's no point in picking a point guard because they're gonna trade John Wall away. Um, even if it is 1-for-1 with James Harden.
I'm my
Um,
prediction here is going to be Deni Avdija. But if they do take Tyrese Halliburton, that is a sign that John Wall is going to leave.
yeah,
Anyone else I can see here? Not really. No. I mean, I think personally that Cole Anthony is a better than some of these prospects that they have here. But yeah, I see it between Deni Avdija and Tyrese Halliburton. I have Deni Avdija going here.
yeah. I'm gonna put I'm gonna put Avdija here as well. I think it makes the most sense.
Man, I can't get over Obi Toppin the Knicks.
I'm
Oh
I'm
man.
I'm reading what Woe just saying about him.
All right, pick is in for Washington, but back to Obi Toppin, man. Like I don't think he's gonna be bad, but I don't see him being good. Like I honestly don't see him being good. Like before this last year at Dayton, I had no one had heard of who Opie Toppin was, and he's not a great shooter. Like I don't know. I don't like. I feel bad for you, honestly.
Yeah, like, and apparently Leon Rose was high on him as well, which I don't understand at all. Um,
Hey, just not to be this guy. You guys weren't gonna go anywhere anyway.
oh
To be
no,
honest with you.
I'm not denying that either. Like, we're still rebuilding, if that's what you want to call it. Um,
Yes, that's my point. But I'm not sure how much Obi Toppin helps that rebuild.
no, he doesn't. Um,
Oh god.
this is, oh my lord. We're a big man lineup now, I guess.
That's not really something to be proud about.
I wonder what the thought process was.
That's
Like,
exactly my
like why do you
question.
want Obi that bad if you're the Knicks? I don't understand. Like, this is what I was saying. Like, if it's not a guard,
All right, here's the pick for
why? Like,
Washington.
who else could it be, and why?
Yep, there goes Denny of the. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to happen.
too. I like that pick for them. I mean, I think Denny of Diha. Well, these teams that told you that they don't really want Denny of Diha as bad as what some other NBA prospects said, but Denny of Diha, I broke him down in one of my episodes. I really like his game. He's a lot better with the ball than I thought he was going to be, and then obviously he probably has to develop a little bit more as a shooter. But he's one of those guys who is really athletic. Can run the floor. I like his attitude. I like his mentality. I mean, I feel like this is definitely going to be controversial. I feel like he has more. He has less. I feel like Denny Idea has less of a chance of being a bust than Anthony Edwards does. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, I mean, I like this guy a lot. He won the whatever they call it, the Israeli basketball championship this year with Amari Stoudemire on Maccabi Tel Aviv. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, he looks good. This is a really smart pick by Washington,
he has a
going
very sim.
for
he's a very similar resume to kind of like Luka Doncic, like played professionally super young at like 15 or 16 years old and finds nothing but success overseas. Now, obviously, it's overseas, but overseas isn't a joke. It's still professional basketball.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I like to think for
yeah.
Washington,
This smart pick by Washington, I think.
all right, now we got. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. Now we got Phoenix up. They obviously just made that mega deal for Chris Paul. They obviously got Devin Booker. They got DeAndre Ayton. They got a little more people that I know compared to these past few teams. I look here. They definitely need probably a 3 or a 4. Definitely a little bit of like a not necessarily like a power forward, but definitely like kind of like a wing forward. Here, I don't really see Tyrese Halliburton, but I do could see someone like I definitely could see someone like Aaron Nesmith going here. Definitely like a great shooter, small forward type. I could see Aaron Nesmith going here, and that's going to be my prediction for the Suns right here.
Yeah, I was gonna say Aaron Nesmith as well because there is a Kelly Oubre sized hole at small forward after the
Exactly.
CP3 trade. Um, I wouldn't be shocked if they went with Precious.
Achua.
I don't know his last name.
Precious like Achua. I know exactly what you're talking about though.
Yeah, Achua or
Well,
something like that because that's the best power forward now. I wouldn't be shocked. They obviously don't need a guard. I mean, I guess they could draft Tyrese Halliburton for the purpose of depth. That would a little bit, especially considering Chris Paul's age and where he might be in a couple years.
yeah, well, I kind of see it as they traded Kelly Oubre to the Thunder, and when they had Kelly Oubre is not a shooter. That's not what his game is revolved around. He's that driver of the basket, and Aaron Nesmith is definitely a better shooter than Kelly Oubre was. So, I feel like Aaron Nesmith goes right here.
Yeah, it, it would make sense since they need a starting small forward. It will probably be Aaron Nesmith. It wouldn't be shocking to me.
This pick is definitely very interesting because I talked about the Suns had arguably the best performance at the bubble play-in playoffs or whatever you want to call it. Didn't lose a single game, and now they have Chris Paul. Obviously, they lost a lot of their like depth players in that trade, but this is a very essential pick for the future of the Suns right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they dealt away a lot of key pieces. Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre Jr., Ty Jerome, and Jalen Leck, I believe, also went to OKC in that trade. Um, Not to mention a couple picks. So this is a huge decision that Phoenix needs to make, and they got to do it in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, I also could just kind of see it. I could see him having the mentality of just kind of taking the best player. I could also see them doing that, but I don't see Tyrese Halliburton going here. But I could see someone maybe like Devin Vessel, a very good defender. Um, I don't know, or they could just go someone with a lot of upside. And yeah, I'm gonna stick with Aaron Nesmith right here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think I think they need a small
Sounds like a
forward.
Suns player.
Yeah, I mean they need a small forward bad enough. Yeah, I think Aaron Nesmith is a safe pick here for them.
There's no one really that I see left on the board that drastically impacts the Suns roster, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of guards still
A lot
available.
of just like wing players, yeah. Honestly, I'm just honestly waiting till Devon Dotson and Udoka Azubuike get drafted. That's kind of my mindset right
Mm.
now. I'm still interested in all these players, but that's what I'm looking forward to. Because honestly, I watch a lot more college basketball than I do NBA basketball. Even though I do follow the NBA, but I'm much more of a college basketball fan. All right, the pick is in for the Suns. We'll know in the next, hopefully, few seconds. So, what is your prediction, Jacob? Because mine is Aaron Nesmith.
Yeah, I think mine's going to be Aaron Nesmith as well.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think it's just the safe pick for Phoenix. It makes less sense for them going forward. And they need to. I think they need to. They got to have a win now mentality, right? After trading for Chris Paul.
All right, here's the pick. Okay, that is definitely a shock. The Suns just took Jalen Smith, power forward from Maryland. Definitely not who I was expecting there. I know who he is, but definitely not. I did not think he was going to be a top 10 pick. A little bit undersized, in my opinion. He actually put up some decent numbers, Maryland, but a little bit undersized. Decent offensive game. Weirdly, actually looks like someone I know, but I mean, I don't really know why the Suns make this pick right here.
Um, I mean, obviously the pick was going to be either a small forward or a power forward. I think if they like
There's better
Jalen
options
Smith,
though.
I mean, if they like Jalen Smith more than they like Aaron Nesmith, then I mean, by all means, go with Jalen Smith. I mean, if you like someone more than another guy and you feel confident with that pick, then there's, I mean, I don't see a point in arguing it. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about this?
Well, I no, I completely understand that take. It's just I'm looking at ESPN's, like big board, and I don't even see Jalen Smith really on here.
Oh yeah, he's definitely like low down.
Yeah, like very
Like
low.
I understand what you're talking
Yeah. So that's a little bit of surprise. Again, I don't really know why the Suns made that pick, but I'm not gonna absolutely bash it.
about. Yeah.
Okay, but next
San
on
Antonio is an interesting pick here.
San Antonio is
Um,
always is an interesting pick. I feel like I just want to look at like my prospect board and just say like who is the highest rated international prospect on there.
yeah. I mean, obviously they're not going to want a point guard that much. They're probably not going to want a big man as long as LaMarcus Aldridge is there. Um, do you think this is Tyrese Halliburton?
I don't. I don't. I think they take here. Oh man. I could also see Aaron Nesmith here. I could also see maybe someone like Josh Green. I could also see someone like that, or even someone like
Maybe.
um, you know what? I'll go with shot in the dark. I'm gonna say Josh Green. I think he he's formerly is an international prospect. He's from Australia, but then he played at Arizona. I really like his game, and I could see them maybe using him out as the two, but they do have DeMar DeRozan. But maybe they could play him off maybe the three. I don't know. I could also see Devin Vessel here, but I think the Spurs lack a little bit of scoring, in my opinion. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, this will be
I don't
interesting,
see
especially
Tyrese Halliburton here
considering.
though.
Yeah, I think this is especially considering like where you can play DeMar DeRozan. Um, yeah, this could be. I think this is going to be either Devin Vassell or Aaron Nesmith. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I can see Aaron Nesmith here. I do feel like Josh Green is a shout though, just because of how much the Spurs love those international prospects.
Yeah, maybe.
Who is coming up? We got Sacramento and then New Orleans. I can see. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to look at where Tyrese Halliburton could go from here because I don't see him going this first. Maybe New Orleans, but they just got George Hill and I can't remember. They got Eric Bledsoe too. Yeah, I don't know. And in Sacramento, obviously, well, I've heard that Buddy Hield wants out of Sacramento, which is good for him. No one should ever want to play for Sacramento. That is where players go to die, in my opinion. But I don't know. All right, the pick is in for the Spurs. We'll know in the next few seconds. Yeah, my prediction here is I'm gonna say Aaron Nesmith. I think they go Aaron Nesmith here.
I think they go with the shooting guard. I think they're going to go with Devin Vassell.
Okay, I can't really criticize that. And for anyone watching, I have all my social media links up at the top. Go follow the gram, go follow Twitter. But the bulk of our content is through podcasts. So be sure to go check out HQI Sports on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those good streaming services. We upload to most streaming services. It's pretty hard not to find the podcast. All right, I think we're about to get the pick. Here we go. Oh, okay. So it is Devin Vassell. I thought they would go
Yeah.
someone. I thought it would be someone with a little bit more offensive, production, but I think they can definitely, develop him a little bit here. Devin Vassell, a very good defensive player. So that's definitely something the Spurs would like. Didn't watch really too much tape of them, but this is actually I think the second guy from Florida State that has gone in this draft because I think Patrick Williams was Florida State, or am I crazy? I'm not
Patrick
sure.
Williams is also from Florida State. Yep.
That's really interesting. Actually, Devin Vassell actually shot 42% from three, so maybe he actually is a little bit better offensively than I thought, but definitely is a very good defensive player. I like that pick for the Spurs.
Yeah, I think if they're going to build a defensive pick or a defensive team around DeJounte Murray, which looks like what they're going to do, then Devin Vassell is obviously the right direction to go. Heavy defensive backcourt there with DeJounte Murray and now Devin Vassell starting for you guys. Yeah, I mean, this pick makes a lot of sense. You don't want to clog up small forward too much with DeMar DeRozan. Um, I mean, this pick makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't hate this pick. I probably like to see him go a little bit more offensive here, but you shoot 42% from three. I can't complain with that.
Yeah. All right. Sacramento is on the clock. I think this is going to be Tyrese Halliburton.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I think.
I don't know. No, go ahead.
I think if it picks in already, this is very fast, which makes me believe even more that it's Tyrese Halliburton.
Actually, yeah, because I
Unless they were really high on a guy that's still available.
yeah I've always said that Sacramento is where decent players go to die, and Tyrese Halliburton is definitely a decent player, and could definitely see him going to Sacramento and not being too much just
Well,
because of
I mean,
Sacramento.
if Buddy Hield has voiced openly that he wants out of Sacramento, which I mean, you said it yourself. I don't blame him. That it makes sense to go with a guard. And Tyrese Halliburton has been available for a long time. Sense to me. Um, yeah, I think this is going to be Tyrese Halliburton.
What I'm also very surprised by, which I talked about this earlier, there has not been a single trade yet, or in terms of like trades happening during the draft, which is actually very
Mm-hmm.
surprising to me.
Yeah, and I think that's the case with every single draft. Like we're always expecting trades to happen, and they really never do. Like when we're expecting them to happen.
Yeah, that was kind of the case with the NFL draft here in the past months, where they thought Detroit and like New York were gonna, or like Miami were gonna trade, and they just didn't.
Yeah.
All right, here's the pick. They do take Tyrese Halliburton, and I honestly feel bad for Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Wow, man, I like him, man. I feel like Sacramento is just terrible at developing players, and you know, you know, Tyrese Halliburton is probably the best is the move here, but I've always had bad. I've always never liked the Kings in developing players. Like Marvin Bagley isn't even talked about anymore, and the Kings have had to move off so many of their draft picks pretty frequently. And Tyrese Halliburton is a player who obviously was highly rated coming out in this draft, but he was often injured in college, especially last year. He had a wrist injury, I think,
Mhm.
and I don't know. Maybe he just completely proves me wrong, but I I definitely think Tyrese Halliburton couldn't keep falling, and he had to go. He had to go sometime.
Yeah. I'm honestly shocked that he went as late as he did, considering how high up he was on some people's mock drafts. Um,
He's a good player. He's a great player.
yeah. I mean, could be worse. Could be New York.
Yeah. Curdy Lowe said the Kings didn't screw it up, and they made the right pick in my opinion. But hopefully they can develop him because if because if he's developed properly, he could be a starting point guard for sure and a very effective one.
Yeah. Um, hopefully he finds success in Sacramento, whatever that means for him. Um, yeah. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Now, no, okay. Now we're on to New Orleans, which is definitely an up and coming team with Zion. They obviously don't need someone to fill in where Zion is, and they also just made a trade with Milwaukee, and they got George Hill and Eric Bledsoe. So guard is pretty much shorted. Um, I could see them maybe taking a big guy here if they wanted. Let me look at uh the board.
Yeah, I mean,
I could see Sadiq Bey
they
here.
really have they've got their starting five set, I think. Um,
They could use
I think
they could use
if they
shooters
want to,
too.
I yeah, I think this is for them, and I think they're gonna go with um, Precious Achua.
I don't like him as a NBA player to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, well, they don't really need him to be a superstar like starter for them because
Oh, and
they
also,
already have their superstar starter at power forward.
yeah, no, I understand that, but also I
I
feel.
think they just need him to be a solid bench guy, and I think he's able to do that for them.
Are you really picking a bench player with the 13th pick?
I mean, if you've already dealt away Drew Holiday and gotten back the fleecing that you did, yeah, I mean, if you're already set at um, places where you needed to draft, like I don't know.
No, yeah, I can. I just feel like if you have the 13th pick, you can't just pick someone for depth reasons when your team wasn't even really a playoff threat.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be either Precious Achiuwa or Aaron Nesmith.
No, yeah, I agree pretty much. So the pick is almost in. If I'm gonna lock in a pick right now, I'm gonna go with. Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna go with. I don't want to say Precious, but I'm gonna. They do need shooting, so I'm gonna say Aaron Nesmith.
Um, yeah, I think it could be Aaron Nesmith or Precious Achiuwa here. It could also be a guard, though I don't think it is, considering the depth that they have now. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Precious Achiuwa here. I don't think
I can
this is gonna
respect
be
that.
Cole Anthony.
No, this is
Um,
not Cole Anthony.
yeah, I don't think this is gonna be a guard pick. So I think I'm gonna lock in Precious here.
All right, I'll lock in Aaron Nesmith. I think what they would have most liked was a good big guy, but there's no big guys here.
Yeah, I
There's
think
not.
they were hoping for a Kongwu to fall into their lap here,
That was
and
not
it
gonna
just didn't
happen. No.
happen.
All right, the pick is in. We'll know in the next few seconds. Yeah, they're kind of talking about it on the feed now. I also could see Sadiq Bey here. You know, he kind of plays the same position as Zion, but I do like him. He could probably play more of the three, or even Zion could play more of the three if they wanted. But I'm still going to lock in Aaron Nesmith. All right, we're going to know the pick just here in a few seconds. What I what I really want to know is how in the how in the world does Boston always have a lottery pick?
I don't know.
They are so annoyingly good at. Okay, here's the pick. Oh, okay. They take Kyra Lewis Jr. point guard for Alabama here. That is a. I don't like the pick. I honestly don't like the pick.
Yeah, another little head
George Hill
scratcher.
and Eric Bledsoe. What are they doing?
Yeah, I guess this is a mentor project for them, maybe.
Yeah, but Cole Anthony's better than Kira Lewis.
Yeah, definitely a head
Excuse
scratcher,
me.
especially picking up Eric Bledsoe and George Hill, and also having
Plus, you can't expect him to just
God,
fill like
I'm
Drew Holiday shoes.
yeah, and also having oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name?
Who?
Lamelo's brother,
Oh,
that got drafted.
Lonzo.
Yeah, Lonzo Ball. Yeah, you've got Lonzo at point guard.
That must mean they're not done. They're gonna be moving some people still.
Yeah, they've got to be a little bit of a head scratcher. Yeah,
But, now we're on to Boston. Who does Boston need, Jacob? In your opinion?
um,
They got Kemba, and there actually was rumors about Gordon Hayward moving on. Um, they took
I
Romeo
think
Langford last year. Last
I
year,
think this I think this is another team that was hoping to have Okongwu fall into their lap. That just never happened. Um, yeah, I mean, they don't really have a lot of clear weaknesses outside of center. Yeah, I
I think
think.
Precious falling here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna double down on Precious.
Okay, I will go same position mostly, but I'll say Sadiq Bey.
Yeah, that also makes sense. I mean, if you want to have some sort of like mentor project here, Cole Anthony also makes sense.
Yeah, I can see, but they have Kemba, and in my
Yeah,
opinion,
I mean,
Cole Anthony ain't a project. He a winner.
yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna draft Cole Anthony, you should be prepared to start him, I guess. Um,
I see Cole Anthony being Orlando's pick because who's their point guard? I see Cole
um,
Anthony going because I think Orlando was starting actually. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh, DJ Augustine. DJ Augustine was playing point guard for them in the playoffs last year, which is just unacceptable. So I'm gonna think I'm already gonna lock it in. Cole Anthony to Orlando.
yeah. I don't know. Well, when we get to Orlando, I'll talk about Orlando. Um,
But like, why wouldn't
yeah. Well,
Orlando take Cole Anthony?
um, yeah. I mean, you make a case for it, but who knows?
Boston, I think they just take kind of like a veteran, like I said Sadiq Bey and you said Precious. I think they could. I think they do go kind of like that, like that stretch four, like athletic type here.
Hmm.
I don't see guard, and I don't see like combo or small. They want someone bigger.
Yeah, I don't think they go guard here. I wouldn't be shocked if they went with Nesmith, sort of rotated him in and out with Jalen Brown.
Yeah, I can see that too, but man, I don't know. All right, 30 seconds left on the clock. Man, Boston. I'm not a Boston fan at all, even though I live near there. But I do give them major props for how well they do come like trade deadline stuff, and because they made that move they when they when they got rid of Isaiah Thomas after his best year, and then he's never looked like the same player.
Yeah, Danny Ainge probably going to go down as one of, if not the best, like modern day GM in NBA history. Um, if you're watching the with us, you saw the resume that he has with drafting players and trading for players. It's like they're always contending for a playoff spot at least.
Yeah, I mean, they were. I think they were the 3 seed last year, and that's with Gordon Hayward like just getting back to speed really. And I don't know if they continue with Gordon Hayward, but this is a real. I don't think Romeo Langford has turned out what they wanted to because that was their first pick last year. But yeah, I think they go Sadiq Bey here.
Yeah, I'm gonna double down on Precious Achiuwa with this pick. I don't, maybe they go Sadiq Bey if they're high on him, but I think the smarter choice here is Precious.
Okay, we're about to get the pick right now. Here we go. Oh, they do take Aaron Neesmith.
Hmm. Yeah, also makes sense. Um,
They definitely need a little bit more shooting on the Celtics.
yeah, this makes sense to me. Um,
But I mean, he's not going to be able to start though if they keep
yeah,
Gordon
no, he's
Hayward.
he's gonna be he's gonna sit behind Jalen Brown. Um, but he's gonna help them contend. Um,
Yeah, I would have liked to see him go a little bit more like forward, but I don't hate that move. But now comes Orlando, and I'll honestly be pissed off if they don't take Cole Anthony here.
um, See, here's the thing with Orlando. I don't know if they pick a point guard here because they've got DJ Augustine and they've also got Markel Fultz. And I don't know how much faith they have in him.
DJ Augustine. DJ Augustine is a terrible point guard. Let me make that clear. DJ Augustine is a terrible point guard. Now, Markel Fultz obviously number one overall pick, but obviously I don't think he'll ever live up to expectations. I know he's getting better, but he's not the player we thought he was going to be. And Cole Anthony is a guy who is a leader, great player, and I think his image is really being not looked upon as highly because of what happened in North Carolina. But that is not entirely his fault. Like that's not his fault
Yeah.
really. He was injured for a lot of that. I really would be shocked if they don't take Cole Anthony here.
It makes some sense for them to go with Cole Anthony. It also makes some sense for them to go with Precious, now that he's still available. Um, yeah, I mean, with Aaron Gordon at small forward, and who's their center? I think their center is Mohamed Bamba. I don't think they've gotten anybody else. Yeah, I mean, there's no real need anywhere else
The pick is
except
already in.
for fast pick. Well, if it's a fast pick, it's gotta be Cole Anthony or Precious Chihuahua because I think that's where their biggest needs are.
Or if they like
Is
RJ
either
Hampton
is
more
either
than
is
Cole
either a
Anthony.
guard or a starting forward or a starting power forward.
Yeah, Aaron Nesbitt could be a really good pick for Boston. Just to go back on that, the dude averaged 23 a game and shot 52% from three. Like that is exactly what you want uh, these players to do.
Yeah, yeah. I think Aaron is going to be a really fit um, in Boston. Obviously, he's going to sit behind Jalen Brown. Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Boston does with him.
I really want to take Cole Anthony. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it, but because obviously Cole Anthony doesn't go to Portland, and obviously Cole Anthony doesn't go to Minnesota. That's actually a really interesting pick, though. But oh man, I am putting all the chips in that Cole Anthony will be this year's like Donovan Mitchell, like low, like not like completely low draft pick, but someone that people just slept on and absolutely terrorizes the league.
Yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. Um, yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Does that happen as part of the Orlando Magic? I'm not sure. Um, yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that happening.
All right, so the pick has been in for well over a minute, and we have not gotten the result yet, but I am definitely excited to find out.
Are they doing just the first round tonight, or are they doing the whole draft?
No, they do both rounds. They do
They
both
do both
rounds.
rounds.
I'm debating on whether we should do second round. Well,
I
I actually
see.
think I don't know
Good.
because the second round they do really fast.
Yeah. I also don't know how much of the second round I want to be awake for. I won't lie.
You know what? I can say we'll call it at the end of the first round.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I would love to see either Devon Dotson or Udoka Azubuike go first round though. Actually, right now, let me. Cause my headphones been down. Let me just.
Can you hear me, Jacob?
You're good.
Okay, wait, hold on. All right, how do I sound now? Wait.
Yeah, you're good. You sound better, I think.
Let me just okay. Those headphones even aren't connecting, so I'm just gonna go no headphones for a few seconds.
That's fine.
Man, it is taking this very long to get this pick in.
Yeah, well, they had to sit through a commercial.
All right, here's the pick. Come on, Cole. There we go. Let's go. I absolutely love. Yo, he has Spud Webb with him.
Yes, Spud Webb is with him.
Jeez.
He's supposed to be a Knicks fan.
He wasn't even with like a Knicks. Oh my god.
He's wearing orange glasses. It counts.
Yeah. Well, Cole Anthony for anyone.
Oh my lord.
Well, Cole Anthony for anyone does well. They're saying right now is the son of Greg Anthony, so he definitely has had a lot of connections. But absolutely love this pick for the Magic. He was by far the best point guard left on the draft board, as well as the best overall prospect in my opinion. And they definitely needed a solid point guard because Markelle Fultz and DJ Augustine is not cutting it. I think Cole Anthony has a chance to go right into the Orlando Magic system and be that starter. And if you think about their lineup, it'll be Cole Anthony, Aaron Gordon, Vucevic. I can't really think of who they're. Maybe they play Markelle Fultz actually off ball more. Maybe it's the two if they want. But I like that pick, man.
Yeah. Hey Josh.
Yes.
We've traded the night.
Oh, we do. Who is it?
The Oklahoma City Thunder will be sending Ricky Rubio, the 25th and the 28th overall pick, to the Minnesota Timberwolves in exchange for a package that includes the 17th overall pick tonight.
That is very interesting, which is the pick after this one for Portland. But that is another player from that Phoenix deal that will not be playing for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Very pretty comical. Also very interesting. I would love to see someone just like at a game wearing a Ricky Rubio Thunder jersey. That would be hilarious. But now with that trade, who are the Thunder going to take now?
What I'm a little like a bit of a weird move by the Timberwolves, actually. Obviously, they're trading back from 17 to pick up, what do they have now? 23 and, what was it? 25 and 28. But they also have another point guard in Ricky Rubio.
Yeah, they do now, and that's going to be very interesting. Like, I'm not sure how it's going to work. Unfortunately, because I have no headphone in right now, when you talk, it's coming like double across my microphone. That's really annoying because I need my headphone to charge. It sucks. So just when I'm talking, just don't say anything. All right, Jacob, you can talk.
All right. Well, it looks like Portland's pick is in. We'll keep you guys updated on that pick involving the 17th overall pick, that whole trade. We'll talk about it a little bit. Obviously, Minnesota having D'Angelo Russell, drafting Anthony Edwards first overall, and now they also have Ricky Rubio. A little bit of like, obviously they want to trade back and have more draft capital tonight. But Ricky Rubio being involved in that deal is a little bit weird to me. As we see Portland about to get their trade, or about to their pick. There was this is originally Houston's pick. Wait, hold on.
So the pick is in. Here it is right now.
Let's see who this is.
Ooh, okay. This was a guy who was very highly rated coming out of college. I think he was like the 5th overall prospect, but a center, but definitely an undersized center. He's like more like 6'9". Went to Washington. Definitely not projected to go this early in the draft. So very interesting here. I'm trying to think of the Portland big guy off the top of my head. They don't still have Myers Leonard, did they?
So you got to remember that this pick is going to be going to Houston. Because this is the draft pick that was involved in the Robert Covington trade, sent Robert Covington from Houston to Portland. So I think this is Portland picking for Houston.
Okay.
So I think Isaiah Stewart is going to Houston.
Okay, if that's what's happening now, then that actually makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, because I think the 16th overall pick was the pick involved in the Rocco trade. So I think Portland picked for Houston. I think Isaiah Stewart is going to be the new center for the Houston Rockets.
Okay, so that's actually that's not a bad choice, because obviously the Rockets got rid of Clint Capella, and the whole the whole storyline of the playoffs was that the Rockets' so-called center was PJ Tucker, who was like 6'5", so this actually gives them at least some model of a center. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go ahead.
It looks like this the 17th overall pick now being made by the Minnesota Timberwolves is all that they got. So
and might I add, the pick is already in.
Yeah, and this could be Minnesota picking for Oklahoma City. So we'll keep that in the back of our mind.
I'm pretty sure you're right that this is Oklahoma City making this pick, and if I were to predict who they're going to take here, oh man, let me bring up the prospect board real quick.
Okay, so I want to go back to Isaiah Stewart. The draft Robert Covington from the Houston Rockets to the Portland Trail Blazers. One of those picks was the 16th overall pick, but that 16th overall pick was also used to move Trevor Ariza and that pick, the 16th overall pick, to Detroit. So Isaiah Stewart is actually going to play for the Pistons, not the Rockets.
Okay, so that's definitely. Unfortunately, yeah, I just made that whole thing about the Rockets, but all right, now thinking in terms of Pistons, they obviously got Blake Griffin and wait, but they still got Andre Drummond. So what's this?
No, Drummond's on the Cavs. Remember?
Oh my Jesus Christ!
Everyone gets moved. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you can clearly tell my NBA knowledge is not as good as my NFL knowledge.
All right, pick is in for Minnesota on behalf of OKC.
Okay, so if this is the Thunder pick, they just took that weird, no offense, but that weird Serbian power forward guy.
Alexei Pokusevski is going to be picked on behalf of Oklahoma City. This makes a lot of sense because I think Oklahoma City is in need of a big man. obviously they've got Steven Adams, but they don't really have a whole lot outside of that. So taking Alexei Bebsky makes a lot of sense. Since this is Minnesota on behalf of Oklahoma City. Yeah, I can't complain. I think Precious Achiuwa also would have made a lot of sense, but I think if Oklahoma City likes their international scouting, then Pokusevski makes a lot of sense. He looks really good in Serbia, and hopefully he turns out well in the NBA.
Yeah, now fortunately my mic is back, so we can just go back to normal. But just I honestly haven't watched much of him. He's long. He's has an okay shot. I can't really hate on the pick, but I would have probably gone a different route if I was OKC.
Yeah, Dallas on the clock now. This might be Tyrese Maxey. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see that. Well, Doncic actually plays a lot more point guard than you think. And Dallas is actually one of the few teams that actually is very good shooters. If I was looking here, I could see them taking. I could see him taking Precious. I could see him taking Precious here, or maybe like a Sadiq Bey, or maybe they just kind of double down on their strength and they kind of go Josh Green. I'm actually going to lock in Josh Green right now.
This was a quick pick by Dallas. Their pick is already in. So I think it's someone already high up, which makes me believe it's either the power forward Precious Achiuwa or the shooting guard Tyrese Maxey.
I'm going to say Josh Green here. The pick is in. Josh Green is a very under the team needs that ESPN had right there, which I personally agree with, is shooting guard / small forward, and that's exactly what Josh Green is, a two guard that can definitely play a little bit more of the three position. Very good shooter, very good athletically. I like him a lot. I really wish that he would have gone to KU, but he didn't because I'm betting that Arizona probably paid him. But here's the pick right here. Hey, your boy made the right call.
There you go, Josh Green.
I love that pick for Dallas.
Yeah, I feel like it was going to be either Josh Green or Tyrese Maxey. I think they needed someone to sit behind Luka Doncic and come off the bench and be really strong. Josh
player.
Green makes a lot of sense.
And he was like they said on there, he's a very highly rated recruit coming out of high school. Goes to Arizona, has a decent amount of success, but not a huge amount of success. But I love this pick. And it also now shows that people are, or at least NBA draft analysis, are agreeing with me that Precious Achiuwa is not the dude he's not the dude that should go this early, because he is now starting to officially fall. And now here is a major pick if it stays the way it is, because Brooklyn is now on the clock.
Yeah. This is also an interesting pick for Brooklyn, considering all of the speculation that's surrounding them. Obviously, with James Harden,
I can see Precious actually going here, but I feel like I don't know. Yeah, I feel like they could, because they got that one guy who I can never remember the freaking name. Karis LeVert. They also got him, who I really like. Kevin Durant, obviously, and Kyrie will now, and then somehow maybe they get James Harden. This is definitely an interesting pick right here.
Here's what I think this is. I think this is going to be Tyrese Maxey. I think that if they're going to try and bring in James Harden, which I can see them at least making an attempt. I think that package will involve Karis LeVert.
Okay. Yep.
And maybe some other pieces like a Joe Harris or something like that. So I think if they do try and go after James Harden, which I think they do, their need at shooting guard coming off the bench. And I think Tyrese Maxey slides in that really well.
Yeah, like you just said, if if the Brooklyn Nets do able to get James Harden, there's definitely going to be some pieces that are moved in that deal, and Karis LeVert might very well be one of those pieces. And if that is the case, then Tyrese Maxey is a really good shot here. Also, no, they probably wouldn't take RJ Hampton. He's more point guard. So Tyrese Maxey actually would work here because he's a good shooter, more of a two guard type than just a straight up point guard. If it remains the same and they still have Karis LeVert, I do think Precious Achiuwa could work well as that kind of like that rebounder, physical type of like stretch four, who is definitely going to need to work on his shot if he wants to be successful in the NBA. But I could see Brooklyn taking that chance, and he would look good in the Brooklyn Nets uniform.
Yeah, I think Precious Achiuwa or Tyrese Maxey makes sense. I think Tyrese Maxey more if you want to double down on trying to get James Harden. The safer choice, obviously, is going to be Precious Achiuwa, but I could see them taking Tyrese Maxey as well.
I also would say also the safer pick would be Sadiq Bey, who is more of a kind of like a veteran, even though he's a rookie, but is more kind of like a more. I can't think of the right word, but more of like a developed sort of. He's been in college before a little bit.
Yeah, Sadiq Bey is definitely the mature option out of the two power forwards that are available right now. It would make sense if they took Sadiq Bey, just like it would make sense for them to take Precious Achiuwa. Yeah, it makes sense either one of those three. I don't think it'll be RJ because I think he's more of the point guard type, and as much as they might need point guard depth, it doesn't make sense in my eyes.
No, I don't see RJ Hampton going here either. Yeah, but if I'm gonna lock in, I'm gonna look in a pick. I'm gonna say Precious. I'm just gonna say Precious.
Um, I'm gonna say Tyrese Maxey. I get James Harden, and I think that package will include Karis LeVert, and they're gonna need some depth at shooting guard. I think they go Tyrese Maxey here.
All right, I can't really argue with that, but it makes sense. Yeah, if they are truly pursuing a James Harden uh package here, Tyrese Maxey makes the most sense. All right, so the pick is officially in. We'll be knowing that hopefully in the next few, probably like 30
Oh,
seconds.
wait! This is the Pistons pick. Look at what Woj is saying.
Wait, but the trade just happened, right?
Woj is talking about a three-way trade involving this pick. Hold on.
Whose pick is this?
Brooklyn's gonna make the pick.
Oh, but it's the Pistons pick.
But this is going to be picking on behalf of the Detroit Pistons. So this guy's going to the Pistons. Whoever Silver's about to say.
Okay, so here is Sadiq Bey.
He did say Sadiq Bey.
All right. Wait, but who do the Pistons take in their first choice?
Pokusevski, another power forward.
Then why? If this is the Pistons pick, I don't like it.
If this is the Pistons pick. Oh wait, no. Pokusevski is a small forward.
Well, it's similar. Also, we just got a question in the chat finally. Thoughts on Steve Nash? Steve Nash as a coach. That's actually a great question. That's actually one that I've been talking about a little bit. Immediate reaction, not a big fan of it, but also I kind of, you got to think about, when Steve Kerr became the head coach of the Warriors as a former player, and obviously he's had a lot of success, even though he's had a lot of good players go through that. I'm not sure if James Harden comes to the Brooklyn Nets. I think that's a lot of personalities on one team, and I'm not sure if Steve Nash as a first year head coach is ready for that. Even though he was a former player who's obviously been around multiple personalities, but I think it's a little. It's not really an answer, but I think you got to wait and see. Steve Nash obviously. If I gotta lean one way, I'll go towards negative. I don't know.
Yeah, I think my opinion on players becoming coaches in the NBA is always going to be negative. I think, I mean, I hope Steve Nash finds success in Brooklyn. I will, considering the players on that team. But only time will tell. I think to see what happens in Detroit. I'm trying to get details on the 3-team trade that just happened, and it is.
I can confirm right now that pick went to Detroit. I can confirm that right now.
Mhm. Yeah, it was a 3-team trade involving the Nets, Pistons, and Clippers. That's all I know.
Yeah, so we'll definitely find out more about that proposed trade as the night goes on. Now, looking forward, Miami is now on the clock. And just kind of trying to think about their team. They got Dragic. They got Tyler Harrow, who's been a really good, really good. He was really good as a rookie. Obviously, they got Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo has really surprised me of how well he's played. If they want to get there's not really a good five out right now. Maybe they want like I could see him maybe wanting Precious for two. Well, no, because they got Bam Adebayo. I don't know. I could see him maybe taking like a kind of like a backup point guard here.
Yeah, I was about to say RJ Hampton makes
I was
sense.
going to say the same thing. Yeah, RJ Hampton or maybe someone like Trey Jones. I don't like Trey Jones, but I could see him taking Trey Jones.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, hang on. Okay, Pokusevsky went 17th to Oklahoma City. That's my bad. I thought he went to Detroit.
So we are 1 minute away from the pick being released. I'm gonna lock in RJ Hampton.
I'm gonna say RJ Hampton as well. It looks like I'm getting bits and pieces from this trade. Um, it looks like Landry Shamet is headed to the Nets. Um, it looks like Rodney Magruder is headed to the Pistons, and I think Luke Kennard is also heading to the Nets
Luke Kennard is going.
from the Pistons. Luke Kennard is headed from the Pistons, I believe, to the Nets.
That's honestly very nice for me because then that means the Pistons are committed on Zvi Mikhailuk as their two guard. Shout out Kansas again.
It also means that the Nets bulk up more um, pieces to angle for James.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I obviously I can't remember all the players you just said, but a lot of moving parts there. But none of the parts that you said are too impactful, at least in my opinion. All right, the
Yeah,
pick
I
is in for
mean,
Miami.
um, yeah, pick is in. This will probably be RJ Hampton.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna try and figure out more about that 3-team trade.
I would like to see RJ Hampton here. Like Jay Williams just talked about it. Like Dragic got that injury at the end of the playoffs last season, and RJ Hampton is a guy who he went overseas, but I think his game needs a little bit more developing. And I think Miami could be the perfect place for him because they have really developed Bam Adebayo into a really good player. Jimmy Butler got even better when he went to Miami, and I think RJ Hampton could kind of follow the same footsteps. And here is the pick. Okay. There is Precious Achua gone.
Interesting.
I don't really understand that one. I mean he definitely fell a little bit and he's definitely, a talented prospect, but Jay Crowder, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler even, like when's he gonna play?
Yeah, I think he definitely sits on the bench, and I think that was going to be the case with anybody that they picked here. Um, you know, I don't know how long they're going to have Jay Crowder around, considering his age. Um,
One thing I will say, he's a very good defender. Very lengthy. Obviously, he has his offensive limitations, but like I just said, Miami does have a good history of developing players. He's just not really my sort of player. I feel like these are the type of players where like NBA, I'd say NBA nerds like absolutely love, but I mean I feel like best case scenario he kind of turns into that like Pascal Siakam type.
yeah, I mean this sort of makes sense. This Miami team has now turned into a incredibly defensive front court with Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and now Precious Achiuwa. All like, I mean, obviously Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo are established defensive player of the year candidates, all defensive first team, all defensive second team candidates. Do you think Precious becomes one of those guys?
I mean, I don't know. I think he's definitely a player who is going to be a little bit limited, just kind of all throughout his career. I mean, I'm not sure. I just like I said, the NBA teams kind of thought similar to me in that they weren't as high on Precious that other people were, and he goes number 20, which most people had him in like the early teens. But I'm not. I don't know. What I am very interested in is what Philadelphia is going to do here.
Yeah. Okay, so looks like the details on the three-team trade is Luke Kennard goes to the Clippers, not the Nets. So Luke Kennard, that young shooting guard, goes from the Pistons to the Clippers. Landry Shamet goes from the Clippers. Shamet becomes the
Love that
bait for
move.
Harden. And the Pistons get the 19th pick from Brooklyn.
I love that move. I love that move. I'm a big Landry Shamet guy, and it also means Zvi Mikhailuk will get more playing time on Detroit. So I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely love that move. But here at Philadelphia needs shooters and they need playmakers. That's the biggest thing in my opinion. And I feel like this is a good spot for Tyrese Maxey to go.
Yeah, I was about to say that Tyrese Maxey going here makes a lot of sense. Um,
Or someone like RJ Hampton if they want. Because Philadelphia definitely lacks some point guards.
yeah, they lack shooting. Um, yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense for Tyrese Maxey. This would also be Jaden McDaniels, considering they just traded away Al Horford.
Curdy Lowe just had a great probably the question of the night, even though we haven't had that many questions. Who's uglier, Killian Hayes or Landry Shamet? That is a great question. Let me just say, because I literally haven't commented once on anyone's, like draft day outfit on this, but the instant I saw Killian Hayes, I literally cringed, honestly, and I literally had to say out loud, "My God, that dude's ugly." But Landry Shamet is hideous.
Landry
So
Shamet is balding.
I'm gonna say Landry Shamet is uglier than Killian Hayes because I think Killian Hayes just kind of took me by surprise because I really hadn't seen him much. I'm gonna still stick with Landry Shamet. Great question,
Yeah,
by the way.
he is balding. I mean, yeah. So in terms of this Sixers pick, they already have Danny Green and Terrence Ferguson, and earlier tonight, I Josh McDaniels, I think makes the most sense to me.
For the Sixers?
Yeah,
All right. So you're gonna lock in Josh McDaniels. I'm gonna lock in Tyrese Maxey.
yeah. I'm gonna look in Jaden McDaniels here. I don't know. It makes sense to me. They traded away Al Horford, in need of a power forward. All of a sudden, it makes sense.
I also can see Desmond Bain literally as the guy just said it on there. I know him quite well from TCU days. One of the you don't really see a ton of like NBA players who are like straight just jacked. They're definitely in shape, but not like jacked. And Desmond Bain is jacked, and I actually could see him taking Desmond Bain here as well. But I'm still gonna
Mm-hmm.
lock in Tyrese
Yeah,
Maxey.
I think if you prioritize shooting, Desmond Bain makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
We'll see what happens here.
Hey, there we go. Tyrese Maxey,
There you go.
76ers.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I also want to
He,
say just really quickly, I don't think there's been one player when they got drafted who hasn't cried. They all have just started bawling, which is actually really
yeah.
cool to see.
It's a big moment for them.
Well, I'm
You
just
know,
saying because
I don't blame them.
because obviously players in the past have been like more like jacked and like let's go, but every single one of these players have cried. It's kind of cool.
Hmm. Um. All right. Well, here's a question. This is from me. This isn't even from the chat. Do you think Tyrese Maxey starts?
That is a very good question. Well, they address a little bit of their shooting need and especially one of their guard needs. I'm really trying to think of who's like their true point guard on the team. And since I can't think of it, I'm going to answer yes. I like Tyrese Maxey. I think people actually thought he was going to go a little bit earlier in the draft. So I'm going to lean towards yes. I'm going to say Tyrese Maxey starts for Philadelphia next season.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I don't think I know they just picked up Danny Green, and I think they drafted Tyrese. I think they're gonna rotate those two guys in and out of the starting lineup, very heavily, and I think they might go with the hot hand in the end. And I feel like that's gonna be Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to dispute that. I'm trying to think of who Denver takes here. Denver is a weird one. I think they kind of need guard play, even though Jamal Murray was balling out last season, but he's more of a two guard.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think this pick is either gonna be R.J. Hampton or Jaden McDaniels, and I feel like the
Yeah, they
question
can go kind of
becomes.
forward too.
I think the question becomes: do you trust Jeremy Grant to sign an extension? And if you don't, you go with Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of any of these remaining players. I could also see him going with that Zeke Najee dude from Arizona. I like his game a lot.
Yeah,
He really impressed last season.
yeah, I liked Inaji a lot as well. I don't think he goes here, but
Me neither, but I think it could be a good fit. If I'm going to lock in a player, I'll say RJ Hampton.
um, I think I'm gonna lock in Jaden McDaniels here.
Okay. And as we approach sort of the end of the stream, we still got a little bit of ways to go. Make sure to go follow HQI Sports on Twitter. Go look them up on Apple Podcasts. Go sub to the channel. We've actually got another subscriber, which is awesome, especially since we're going to be doing these a lot more. And also, there's definitely going to be upgrades to this stuff this do because I'm just using my camera off my computer, but very excited. Also, go follow me on Instagram. Sorry, Jacob, I actually didn't link you, but yeah, go look up the stuff in the top.
Yeah, I'm only a guest here, but yeah,
You definitely contribute.
yeah. I mean, go check us out. I mean, we put a lot of work into these when we do put out episodes. We mainly do podcasts. We are experimenting with live streams a little bit,
Well,
and
we're
we're hoping to go live.
I'd say
Good.
we're more expanding than experimenting. We've already had our
I guess we've already
of
experimented.
experimenting, which has gone incredibly poor. It even happened tonight for a very brief moment, but we're
Yeah,
definitely
that's
growing.
fair.
I mean, we're getting bigger and we're getting better. I mean, I was actually listening to some of the previous episodes not too long ago, and just like the difference between like my fifth episodes compared to I think I just put out I think it's like the 32nd episode or something like that. Massive improvements, and I like anyone to argue with the quality is not top level.
Yeah. We're hoping to do these live streams every which will be really fun for both of us to record. And we're hoping that you guys enjoy it as well. And we won't know that until you guys comment and give us feedback. I mean, we're always listening to what you guys have to say. Any feedback helps. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, this has been really fun, and for the most part, it's actually gone very well. I've been very pleasantly surprised at how well this has gone. Love how the stream turned out, and also, once I finally get my hands on a PS5, I will be streaming on Twitch as soon as I possibly can. Obviously Christmas is coming up. I'm hoping to get some stuff. Uh, yeah, there's HQI is growing, and I'm excited. Also, wearing the merch. That's definitely gonna be coming out. Or I want to wait till enough people are interested in them because the quality's great, and I'm definitely gonna be shipping out some merch come Christmas time. All right, the pick is also now in. I have locked in R.J. Hampton as my prediction, and if I'm not mistaken, Jacob has locked in Josh McDaniels.
I'm gonna go with Jaden McDaniels here.
Josh McDaniels.
And I'm also going with Jaden McDaniels, hoping that R.J. Hampton doesn't get drafted, so that the New York Knicks come with the 23rd overall pick, which is coming up next.
Oh, it is Jaden McDaniels. My bad. Josh McDaniels,
Yeah,
I think was
Jaden McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels. I think was last year. I'm not sure.
Maybe the name definitely exists.
All right, here's that. Oh, I called it. I called it. I called it.
Zeke and Najee.
Zeke the Najee, or Najee, whatever you say his name. I freaking called that. Oh my
Wow.
God. I didn't
Good
officially
call.
call it, but I went like, hey, they could take Zeke Najee here. And I love that pick. I
Good
love
call.
that pick. That is exactly what Denver needed, and I don't know if they're listening to this live stream, but they definitely just listened to me. He absolutely balled. It was so annoying because he was also another player that he was really close to going to Kansas, but he went up going to Arizona. But I didn't watch too much Arizona last year, but every time I looked at like the stat line, Zeke Najee was just balling, man. And I was pleasantly surprised at how well of a shooter he is because obviously he's 6'11" and he's very athletic, but he can shoot. I've really been impressed with this kid.
Yeah. I think the need for power forward, was evident, and I think it was going to be either this guy, Zeke Najee, or Jaden McDaniels. I like Zeke Najee a lot. I watched his stuff at Arizona. He looks like the kind of guy that Denver needs, sort of that
Yes.
high octane, sort of firing on all cylinders, power forward that can sort of drive the paint and get you an easy bucket when you need it.
Yeah, and might I also add now that your team is now on the clock, and now that leaves open R.J. Hampton.
Yeah, so we did Halliburton eighth overall. So here's me hoping that we get RJ Hampton 23rd, which I would not be upset with, considering how much he slid. I thought Hampton was going to go earlier in this draft, and he has slid in our lap to 23rd.
I think he really screwed himself when he went overseas.
Who are you talking about?
R.J. Hampton, he decided to go overseas and play in the same league as I think LaMelo Ball, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
actually ended up hurting his draft stock.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, anyone who's choosing to play overseas as opposed to playing in the NCAA is taking a risk, because obviously scouts are going to look to the NCAA first,
Yeah.
before they choose to go overseas. Um, so obviously he was making a calculated risk, and you know it's what he wanted to do, and he's going to get drafted one way or another. It's just a matter of when and how
Just
much he'll slip.
I also say that because he literally in an interview right after he actually made his decision on Get Up because I remember it vividly because he literally said in the interview after that decision that if he were going to go to college, he was going to go to Kansas. So a little bit of
Oh, really?
annoyance there. Yeah, but I can't hate on him. He's just a kid. He's obviously making way more important decisions than I am. But
He's going to be making way more money than you are as well.
that's nice. Just give
He's
me a few years, man. Give me a few years.
no, you'll blow up. But yeah, I mean, anyone he's gonna get a rookie contract regardless of where he plays. I think that he has. Um, I think again, it's just a matter of how far he fell, and he's fallen quite a bit.
He
And
hasn't fallen like
hopefully,
dress. He hasn't fallen like Precious did. But who would like if I just asked you like who would you really want here? Who would you say?
RJ Hampton.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, because we didn't get a guard eighth overall, so we're gonna get a guard 23rd, right?
Hopefully,
Right, right.
right? We're not gonna pick Obi Toppin, right? Oh, we did.
Yeah, but we're gonna get watch us pick Jaden McDaniels as well. Two power forwards with our only first round picks.
Nah, you're gonna take whoever the next big guy is. All right, but the it just went to commercial, but the pick has to be in because I think the clock just expired. I
Yeah,
I
clock's
I
at 30 seconds.
I with you are gonna lock in R.J. Hampton, hoping that the Knicks make at least a semi-intelligent decision right here.
You gotta believe it's a guard, right?
You gotta
I know I
believe.
said I know I said this last time, but you gotta believe it's a guard.
You honestly don't. You never know with any New York teams. You just never know.
Yeah,
Same thing with like the Giants. You just never know.
yeah. I mean, at least with the Giants, it was less of why did we tackle and more of why did we pick that tackle. Like with Obi Toppin, it wasn't even why that power forward. It was why did we pick a power forward?
Why did we just pick Opie Toppin?
Why did we? Well, not even like discredit to Obi Toppin, but why did we pick a power forward when we threw so much money at Julius Randle in free agency?
All right, but the pick is in. I hope for your sake that R.J. Hampton goes right here.
Yeah, remember this is the pick that we got from Utah to move up, from 27 to 23.
Wait, who is
Um,
Ante Tomic?
some guy that got drafted in the second round of 2008.
2008? How can you be a professional basketball player, since 2008, and I literally have never heard of you. That's a
He
very
he has probably spent his entire career in Europe.
that's my guess.
What was his name? Do you remember?
Ante Tomic.
Tomic. Let's see. He's a Croatian basketball player who plays for, oh boy, Juventud Badalona of the Spanish Liga ACB.
All right, here's the pick, Jacob.
RJ Hampton.
RJ Barrett.
RJ Hampton. RJ.
Or yeah,
Hampton,
RJ.
please.
Who?
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
I
I mean, it's a guard, but
we
who?
picked the wrong guard.
Oh no.
Who is that?
Argentina.
Who is Leandro Balmaro?
Cool name, but
Very cool name, but who the hell are you? I haven't seen any tape on this guy.
I've seen this dude
invested.
before. Let's watch the tape.
I'm invested. I want to see his tape.
What is this?
This is not his tape. This is a cartoon.
What?
This is Saturday morning all over again.
This is someone like some dude just created a basketball cartoon.
Argentinian athletes Lionel Messi, Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, let's see if he fills those shoes.
Leandro Balmaro. He gets his own statue.
There's no
Hopefully.
tape on him. Just show the tape.
All right, let's see this guy.
Wait for Barcelona.
High motor.
Oh, great pass.
Explosive.
Great pass.
That one actually wasn't a bad pass. That second one.
They're all just him passing.
Third one also not a bad pass.
All I've heard of the instant analysis is that he's trying to fill Messi and whoever's shoes. He's a decent passer and he plays with passion. I love it.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand. You guys needed a true point guard, and that's not the answer.
We must really like Leandro Balmaro.
All right, so
he better turn into an all-star.
Milwaukee's pick is already in as well, and this could
they're
very
gonna
much
they're
be
gonna pick RJ Hampton.
RJ Hampton because they just got rid of. Well, but they just got Drew Holiday. RJ Hampton was
He's a shooting guard. Drew Holiday's more of a shooting guard.
It's debatable.
This is gonna be RJ Hampton. I'm gonna be so upset.
If he were to fall out of the first round, that'd be a shock.
His head is way too small for that hat.
The girl to the right of him looks like a ghost.
The guy to his right.
Girl to his right.
Oh, the girl on his right. The one that was wearing black.
Oh wait, so this is New Orleans pick.
Oh, that's right. This is the pick that they sent to New Orleans for Drew Holiday.
Okay, interesting.
Wait. Oh.
What?
Leandro's going to Minnesota.
That was just wait.
They traded back. What you said.
Oh, okay. That wasn't known before that pick, right?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
They traded that pick for 25 and 33, I think they said. So a pick after this, it looks like. Or Minnesota's going to pick on our behalf.
I'm honestly thankful. Oh, here's
Milwaukee's going to pick RJ Hampton. If they pick RJ Hampton.
Well, this is New Orleans pick.
Oh, right. This is New Orleans pick. This is right.
RJ Hampton just went.
Are you kidding me? They pick another point guard?
Oh, yeah. They just took Kira Lewis. What are they doing?
They have to be building up for a trade for a big star,
I
right?
don't understand what's happening. I'm
But
actually.
who?
I was just about to say I'm really thankful that we're not going to the
They
second
gave him the
round
wrong hat.
because there's so many trades going on in these like mid picks. That makes no. If RJ Hampton is going to the Pelicans, that makes zero sense.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, they could just.
And
I mean, they
it also
could.
really pisses me off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess they could play 2 point guards, but like
They're gonna have to play like 4 point guards considering who they have. Okay, so Oklahoma City's on the clock. What?
yeah, they just talked about Kansas. Screw RJ Hampton.
Yeah.
But now
So
is this
wait,
Oklahoma
so
City's pick?
I have no idea whose pick this is.
Find that out though.
I can figure it out. I can't remember. I can't remember what numbers Woj said.
There's so much stuff going on right now.
It really is. I'm looking up Woj.
I really wish because when there was like a trade happening in the on like the NFL draft, the screen changes of like who was actually picking that. Whereas NBA draft, they keep the original pick from the team on, and I really like find that annoying because it makes just everything just like a
Okay.
little bit more confusing.
So obviously, this was Milwaukee picking on behalf of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Adrian Wojnarowski 2 minutes ago says New Orleans is selecting Hampton on behalf of the Denver Nuggets.
Oh, seriously? So RJ Hampton to Denver, which makes a lot more sense.
So RJ Hampton's going to the Nuggets.
Okay, now I love that pick. Okay, but here's the Thunder pick. So who is this for?
I have no idea. Let's find out. Let's find out who it is first.
Oh wow, okay. He was projected as
Quickly,
a late
guard.
second rounder. He was He was a really high recruit like 2 years ago, but never really did anything.
It's a point guard. Maybe it's the Knicks.
But why would this be the next pick? I don't know.
I just want a guard. New York is trading number 3 pick Leandro Bolmaro to Minnesota for 25 and 33. Is Emmanuel quickly going to New York?
I think you just said that, yeah.
All right, then I really wish I watched his tape because I didn't watch any tape on him either.
I mean, he's a decent player. It's just like he was one of those players who was supposed to go first year. I don't know.
All right, well, if that's our pick,
I mean, at least you got a point guard.
Then I'm happy it's a guard.
For everyone watching, I'm sorry that we're trying to. There's a lot of trades going on right now, and this is also our first time doing this. Now Boston is on the clock, and they took who did they take first time? I can't even remember.
They got the that small forward.
That's right. Yeah.
Can't remember his name though.
Took Aaron Nesmith. That's who they took.
That's right.
So now they could probably look more towards a little bit bigger. Jaden McDaniels could make sense here. Also, actually, they could take Doak here. They could take Doak, or Udoka Azubuike. center from
Mm.
Kansas. If they want someone who's a big guy, that
Yeah,
would be who I'd go for.
a center would make sense here. They keep saying that it's Oklahoma City's pick.
Yeah.
But how did Minnesota get that pick?
There's so many. Like, not only is there so many
Okay.
trades this season, but there's also so many like three-way trades. It's so weird.
I'm just trying to think of how Minnesota would have gotten that pick from OKC.
Well, I think they did a trade with the Knicks as well. Because
Yeah,
the
because I
Knicks
just
took
got
that.
the alert. I just
Because the
got the
Knicks
alert
took
that said
Leon. Okay.
I just got the alert that the Thunder picked Emmanuel Quickly. Proposed trade to like Emmanuel Quickly is going to be a New York Knick.
Okay. Yeah, that we knew.
LJ Hampton's going to the Nuggets.
That's
Quickly,
awesome. I love that pick.
according to ESPN, is still going to Oklahoma City. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I don't want to do a second round because I feel like my head's gonna explode if we do.
Yeah, it's good.
Because it's
We've been
just
doing this for
so
like
much to
4 hours.
keep track of. It makes sense. Let's talk about Boston. It makes sense for Boston to go with Jaden McDaniels.
Or just someone who's a big guy, like someone like there's also like Xavier Tillman, I think, guy from Michigan State. Even though I really don't know much about him.
Jaden
Maybe if they
McDaniels,
are,
Tyler Bay is
yeah,
available as well
Tyler
at
Bay as
power
well.
forward. That Kansas center that you were talking about also makes sense. If they don't want to run with Daniel Tice.
If Azubuike went first
Daniel
round, I'd be so happy.
Daniel Laturu from Minnesota, a center, is also still available.
I like that guy.
Center and power forward makes sense for me. If I'm Boston, I'm looking at those guys right now.
I also could understand them taking maybe like more of a wing player if they are looking to move off of Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, maybe.
But they already took one in Nesmith, so
I don't know if they're to move on from Gordon
I think
Hayward
it's Nesmith too. I don't think it's
that
Nesmith.
quickly. Is it Nesmith?
It's Nesmith.
Maybe.
Which sounds
I don't know
whatever.
if they're that willing to move on from Gordon Hayward though.
But even if they were, and they already took someone that kind of plays his role in Nesmith, so big guy does actually make sense here. I'm gonna just I already got one of these bold predictions right. I'm gonna say Doak or Udoka Azubuike goes right here to Boston. I'd be so happy.
You know what? They could take him 30 because remember they've got a pick later on.
That's true. That is very true.
They could go power forward here and try and go center later on.
Yeah, so I could see Jaden McDaniels here and Doak later. I really want to know who this is.
I think Jaden McDaniels makes a lot of sense here.
I honestly can't stand John Calipari. He's so annoying.
Yeah, I mean, as a person, I'm not really a big fan of him. Obviously, he's a fantastic coach, but
He probably pays all his players. That's just inner, Kansas rivalry coming out. I've talked so much about Kansas in this live stream. I'm sorry.
the fact that they're still mentioning Emmanuel Quickly on the Oklahoma City Thunder is scaring me a little bit.
I think James Gary's in the chat.
It's scaring me a bit. All right, let's see what this pick is. Jaden McDaniels makes a lot of sense here.
Huh?
Peyton Pritchard, point guard
That
from
makes
Oregon.
no sense at all. Yeah, and James N, who I think we might know, good pick for Boston. Instant reaction? No. That doesn't make any sense because you are not filling any major hole. Where is even Peyton Pritchard on my draft board?
they must really like this guy coming out of Oregon. Pac-12
He's
Player of the Year.
not on my board.
They're fourth in Pac-12 in points per game and assists per game.
Why does he look like a player from 2007?
Little bit of an Iron Man. Yeah, he looks like the default my player in 2K.
That's a big shout. He actually has some pretty good stats, though. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he
Kind
averaged
of looks
20
like
last
he
year.
reminds me of Duncan Robinson with shorter hair.
Why does he kind of remind me of oh god, what's his name? Uh, the guy from
Good handles.
the guy who we learned about
Deep.
at our school, who like did drugs and stuff, like Chris.
That could have been anyone.
No, like Chris, the basketball player who came and spoke at our school.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about, but I don't remember his name.
I can't remember his name. Why does he kind of look like that guy?
Yeah, this reminds me. He looks a lot like Duncan Robinson.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
really understand that pick though. Yeah,
this
yeah,
is.
Chris James in put in the chat. Chris Herron, that's who I was thinking of.
There you go. Deep 3-point. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, like if you want him to
Yeah,
be a backup point guard, maybe, but I don't know.
I mean, this sounds a lot like a project for Kemba Walker. Um, he sort of has that sort of clutch gene that Kemba Walker has as well. So I guess they're similar in that sense. Um,
He's also just like he kind of just looks like a Boston player.
yeah, yeah. I guess the stereotypical, like, I guess white guy.
Yeah.
I
All right,
don't know. I don't know what going with that.
now we got Utah on the board. Obviously you got Donovan, you got Rudy Gobert. They still got Mike Conley, I think. I can really see them taking like a Jaden McDaniels here.
Yeah. I think power forward, shooting guard is where they go here, or not shooting guard, point guard.
Okay, the pick is already in.
Yeah, Trey Jones or Tyler Bay also make a lot of sense here.
I'm not a huge fan of Trey Jones, and I don't really see him fitting. Well, I don't know. He was a high-rated recruit coming out of high school, but he just kind of underperformed in a lot of areas. All right, here's a
All right,
pick.
well, the pick is already in. Gotta believe it's Jaden McDaniels, right? It's super fast.
I think so. Azubuike! What? That makes no
There you
sense.
go.
Why? Why there?
There he goes.
What? That is incredible. Oh my god. I'm so happy for Azubuike here, but they have Rudy Gobert, do they?
Yeah, I guess he's gonna sit behind him.
Move off him, right? I mean,
Defensive center also makes a lot of sense. Interior presence and rim protector, according to ESPN, makes a lot of sense to sit
he's
behind
actually
Rudy
not that
Gobert
great
for
of
a
a
couple of
defensive
years.
player. He's actually not that great of a defensive player, believe it or not. But
I mean, yeah, you're the fan. I'll take your word for it.
I trust me, I literally know everything about this kid.
Yeah, I mean,
he's he's
he's your guy. What's better knowledge?
so okay. So for being a 7 foot center, he's probably one of the worst big guys I've ever seen try to block a shot. It's really surprising how bad he is. He also cannot shoot a basketball to save his life, but he has a great motor. It gives full speed every single time. Has a couple decent post moves, but he's definitely got to develop as like a consistent offensive scorer. He's not a starting center in my opinion. At least as of right now, he's not a starting center. But if actually maybe even going beside someone like Gobert could help him a little bit. I'm not sure. He's definitely not the starter, but he's a great guy. I love Doak. He he made such a difference on that Kansas team last year. Um, Yeah, the knocks on him is that he can't shoot a basketball to save his life, and sometimes he gets kind of tired. But he's a really good player. I really did. I never saw him going to Utah. And then also James and
Yeah.
just put in the chat who's going to take Nico Mannion, that point guard from Arizona.
I don't think he goes in the first round, dude.
I don't think so either.
Who's left to pick? So this is going to be the Lakers picking on behalf of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Um,
Okay. I honestly
yeah,
can't.
because
There's been so much movement with the Thunder that I
this
honestly
is
can't
okay.
remember
So
who they
so
need.
this is the pick. This is the pick that the Lakers sent with Danny Green to the Thunder for a future first. So this is the Lakers picking on behalf of the um, Thunder.
I can see him
Or
taking like
no,
a
not for a future
guard.
first. It was for Dennis Schroeder.
I can see him taking a
My
guard here
apologies.
because they got rid of Chris
Yeah,
Paul.
guard makes sense.
I
Well,
think
they got rid
they
of
could
Chris
take
Paul
Nico
and they
Mannion
picked.
right here, or maybe they want like a
Um,
Trey Jones.
yeah, Nico Mannion or Trey Jones makes sense here. Um,
Who's
obviously,
that?
they have a
Guard?
Chris Paul size hole because Ricky Rubio got dealt to Minnesota. Um,
Did he actually go back to Minnesota? Is that what happened?
um, yeah, Rubio because the 17th pick was made on behalf of OKC. Yeah, he's going back to Minnesota.
That's crazy.
Okay. I think I got it. So Ricky Rubio started the weekend in Phoenix. He got sent to OKC for in the Chris Paul deal, and then he went from OKC to Minnesota. Ricky Rubio, along with the 25th and the 28th overall pick, went to Minnesota exchange for the 17th.
Okay.
That follow me so far?
Oh, yeah.
So Rubio is in Minnesota, and the 25th pick that OKC used on Emmanuel Quickly was via Minnesota, and the Knicks used that for with whoever they drafted with 23 to trade with Minnesota to get 25 and 33. So that's how 25, because it was originally OKC's, that's how it went through Minnesota and it's going to New York.
Yeah. Before, because obviously, I understand that. Actually, thank you for that because I actually understand what happened more now. But the Lakers pick is in. The Lakers obviously title contenders. Who is your prediction here, Jacob?
Well, this is on behalf of Oklahoma City. You got to remember that.
That's what I meant.
So, I mean, Jade McDaniels is still on the board.
But do
I
they
mean,
go out and get a guard?
do the Thunder?
I'm gonna
I don't
lock
know if
in Trey Jones.
I don't know. No,
Here's a pick.
Jade McDaniels, lock it in.
Yep, it's McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels. Glad I locked it in. Yeah, best player on the board. Makes sense.
Yeah, so Jamie McDaniels, I know actually a decent bit about him. Very high overall recruit coming out of high school. Uh, some of the comparisons to him were KD, which was just ridiculous. Not every 6'10" person with a little bit of handles KD, But really interesting prospect. They actually talking about now. He actually has an older brother who was drafted last season, Jalen McDaniels, I think of San Diego State. But then Jaden McDaniels, obviously, uh, this last pick went to Washington and didn't do a ton, but definitely didn't like hurt his stock, at least not like drastically. But yeah, they're mostly just going here based off the talent level and the ceiling of this kid.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was a pick based off of, yeah, as you can see, this is going to um, Minnesota, not Oklahoma City, because the 28th pick that was involved in the Rubio trade is being sent to Minnesota along with the 25th pick. So the 28th pick, so this is actually going to Minnesota. Makes sense for them to go power forward. Um, so now they'll have it. It looks like their starting lineup consisting of D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Josh Okogie, Jaden McDaniels, and Karl Anthony Towns. Not a bad starting five, if you ask me. And now we go into the 29th pick with the Toronto Raptors. And this is really interesting because Fred Van Vliet.
I want them to take here Desmond Bane. That's who I want them to take right here. I'm actually going to lock in Desmond Bane.
Okay, so you're locking in Desmond Bane. I'm going to talk about this pick a little bit. I think they're going to go point guard. I think it's going to be either Trey Jones or Nico Mannion. And the reason being, Fred Van Vliet's free agency is looming over their heads, and I don't think he resigns with Toronto, which means that the Raptors are in need of a point guard right away. And I think that is going to be either Trey Jones or it could be Nico Mannion as well.
This also could have been a spot for Azubuike if he hadn't gone to the Jazz, because they do kind of need more of like a dominant center sort of type. But obviously that's not the option anymore. And also I like because obviously Van Vliet is like a little bit of a concern. And also Kyle Lowry is not getting any younger, so they could be taking a semi replacement here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they went in the direction of guard. You can see if you're following along, watch on ESPN, Van Vliet, Gasol, and Ibaka are all leaving, perhaps. So they could have a hole at center. This could be where the Minnesota center goes. I don't know, Josh. What do you think?
What I think is that I actually am slowly realizing that this pick actually means a lot more to me than I initially realized, because there's actually been a lot of talk of Toronto since obviously the COVID cases in the United States are not doing so hot, and Toronto actually might need to find a place to permanently, or not permanently, but temporarily actually stay throughout the remainder of the 2020 and 2021 season. And one of those places actually being talked about is, cross my fingers, Kansas City. And if that would happen, it honestly might be the coolest thing since the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. But I hope they take Desmond Bane here, because this kid honestly is, he played for TCU, which is not that big of a program, but I really like his build. And looking at him, you wouldn't think he's a knockdown shooter, but he really is. And Toronto does lack some shooting, so I really would like Desmond Bane doing coming or going to Toronto here.
Yeah, I think Daniel Laturu also makes a lot of sense. They're gonna have. I don't think they're gonna re-sign both Ibaka and Gasol. I think they're gonna keep one or the other, and that will open a hole up at center where they need. Obviously, you mentioned Kyle Lowry is not getting any younger, and that's true. But I think the need right now is at center, and I think that's where Daniel Laturu goes.
No, I could definitely see him taking Daniel Aturer here. I'm just not sure if he's that good, just to be honest. But the pick is in, and we should know in the next few seconds. Also, we are getting very close to actually the end of this live stream, and For anyone who has stuck around, I really do appreciate you. Be sure to go subscribe. There will be lots more channels, or lots more content coming to this channel, lots more live streams, especially on Sundays. Some very exciting stuff, to be honest. But let's see who the Raptors are taking here.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be Daniel Aturu. I'm not sure, though. I don't know if they pick a guard. I wouldn't be shocked if they do. But I think the need at center is a little more glaring.
No, yeah, I can't dispute that.
We'll see what happens, though.
The draft is Dallas or it's someone else? No, it's Boston. Oh, so this is the second last.
Yeah, Boston's the last pick.
All right, I think we're about to find out. Yep, here we go. Not even close. Malachi Flynn.
Malachi Flynn, point guard, San Diego State.
I actually have seen this guy play a little bit.
Point guard makes sense. That guy doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, I think when it comes to this point in the draft, like you kind of just want to go with what like what your preference is, and if Trey Jones and a couple of these point guards aren't the preference, then so be it. If they like this Malachi Flynn guy, good for them. He was part of that San Diego State team last year that went a long time before taking a loss. And I remember watching him play. He's really athletic, and also like they're talking about here, very good defender. I think a guy that actually has a lot of upside, if I'm not being mistaken. Yeah, I don't need a playmaker. Good defender. I can't really argue here.
Yeah, I mean, granted, if you don't have faith in guys like Trey Jones and Nico Mannion, and the guy from France, the point guard from France that's still available, I don't remember his name, then yeah, obviously go with the defensive guy to match up well with Spicy P.
On the screen right now. You see the picture?
Yeah, I'm seeing it right now. Yeah, I mean, if they're high on Malachi Flynn, then I don't blame them pouncing on it. I mean, it's a late first round pick, so it's not really going to be frowned upon as a reach. As for Boston,
this could be rounds. This is the last pick of our live stream.
This could be Tyler Bay.
How does Boston have 3 first-round picks? You kidding me?
They had one from Memphis, and I think this one is from. I know actually who's from, but I mean, the 14th pick, their lottery pick was from Memphis.
I think like you were talking about, this could be the Daniel Arturo guy if they wanted.
This could also be Daniel Arturo.
Or maybe it's Vernon Carey. It could be Vernon Carey.
It could be Vernon Carey Jr. Also a possibility.
Honestly, at this point, I'm just waiting to see who Devon Dotson goes to.
Yeah.
Because at this point
also
in the draft,
a Kansas guy, right?
Yeah. And at this point in the draft, very similarly to the NFL draft, it's all guesswork. It really is all guesswork. Like, some of these players...
Suns pick. That's what this is. Yeah, the Aaron Baines trade.
No, this was the Suns pick. Now it's the Celtics pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got this from the Suns.
Oh, and the Suns got that Aaron Baines guy, which isn't that that big guy?
Yeah, the Suns traded up to get. They also got Ty Jerome with that pick from the Celtics, who has turned out to be not a bad pickup, and hopefully he does well in his new home in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, this process has made me quickly realize that I have really tuned out
going to the Grizzlies.
Oh, it's going to Grizzlies.
This pick is going to the Grizzlies. Whoa, just saying it's going to the Grizzlies.
So this is definitely not a guard then, unless they want a developmental guard.
On
Also got
behalf,
Jaren Jackson.
this is on behalf of the Memphis Grizzlies. It makes a lot more sense that this pick is Daniel Oturu now.
Oh yeah, that's. Oh, there's Desmond Bain, my boy.
Here's Desmond Bain,
I like this kid.
shooting guard, TCU.
He's great shooter, great athleticism. Really can't go wrong here. Probably not the best defender, if I'm being honest, but I like this pick.
Good pairing to go alongside with John Morant as well.
Yes, very much so.
Good shooter.
With that being the last pick of the first round of the NBA draft, that is going to conclude the first official HQI Sports live stream.
Can I close with this?
Yeah, go ahead.
This just in, the Golden State Warriors are worried that Klay Thompson suffered an Achilles tendon injury. He's going to have an MRI on Thursday.
Well, that is not.
Not
thank you
great
for the
news to
unpleasant
end
news.
on, but
yeah, not the best news to end off of the stream with, but definitely a major development in that Klay Thompson injury news. But for anyone who's watching this, I hope you guys enjoyed it. There definitely will be more live streams coming soon. I had a great time doing this with Jacob. We do definitely cover more NFL, to just be honest, and we are going to be doing these a lot right after probably like the second round of games on Sundays. Definitely are. That's actually one of the most fun things I actually do probably during the week since I can't really go anywhere. But more live streams to come, lots of more content to come from HQI Sports. Be sure to go follow HQI Sports on Apple Podcasts. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go follow the Twitter account and go follow me, Josh, on Instagram. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and we'll